Sorry. Now people can hear me. Welcome to another Monday night here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Matthew, your benevolent and apparently bubble-minded Dungeon Master for this evening. And let me remember to turn on my players. Players, can you try saying something?
La 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 la.
Okay, I'm getting just weird. Oh, that's why there's nothing. There we go. I didn't have anything showing up on my audio because I apparently stopped the music in Roll20 as well. So, welcome back. Before you jump into everything that happened last time, a couple of quick shout-outs. Big thank you to our friendly northern neighbors who are unfortunately stuck in another lockdown, Little Dragon Corp. If you type into the chat, ! Little Dragon, give you a link to their website as well as a reminder for our discount code PROBONUS. Get you 10% off your order. Definitely check them out. As I said, they are stuck in another lockdown. So if you are in need of any sort of dice or other stuff like that, please check them out. Every little bit will help, as a lot of these businesses, when they go into a lockdown like this, it means people can't come into the stores. So check out the website. They got a lot of great stuff. And our southern friends down in Evans, Georgia is Cardboard Castle Games. That is ! CCG. Give you a link to their website. They likewise have dice and stuff, but they also do other basically nerdy interests, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, all sorts of stuff like that. So you can check them out as well. And as you can see from up top, we are still, Extra Life is still going on. We have managed to hit our goal for this year, but hey, every little bit helps. We're doing the Children's Hospital down there in Georgia, so if you want to, or you know people who have, were able to, check out the link down underneath the stream to donate a little money their way. And with that being said, we will jump into what happened last time. Thanks to some quick thinking from our recent friend Murdoch, the party has made their way into the city of Succumber without the need of selling Furia off in marriage. They were advised by someone that one of the rods, which is one of the 9 ruling, basically council people of this town, would be coming to locate Lydia. They poked around, got a little information from some people up at a temple/courthouse. Went down to the market. Realized that the shop that they stopped into sells a lot of very sort of high-priced but high-quality, and in some cases magical items. Had a couple of items removed to pay for fees, as the city wasn't allowing adventurers in, so they wasn't selling anything. The party sort of finagled a deal where someone would get a rather substantial discount on something if they could bring back the items that were impounded up at the fort in the southern part of town. As the group left the store, this rather sort of roly-poly ball of a man came running up, recognizing Lydia. "It's great, we gotta talk, but not here," and asked if she would trust him. And Lydia, being the ever-congenial cleric that she is, said of course. And her somewhat bewildered party watched as this roly-poly ball of a rod reached up, grabbed her by the shoulder, and they vanished. So party, I turn to you as you have just watched your cleric vanish. What are you all doing?
We're still in the marketplace, like right in front of the blacksmith shop, right?
Yeah, you guys are literally... I mean, Lydia moved a little towards this guy as he sort of came running down the street towards her. So you guys might be like 10 or 15 feet away from it, if that.
So there's a shopkeeper nearby that might have seen this go down?
Yeah, you can definitely go ahead and make a perception check for me as you're looking around to see what you can see in the area.
Great start, nat 20.
Nice.
Okay. So, as you're poking around, the first thing you notice is that the smithy you had been dealing with is nowhere to be found. He's still deep back in the shop, probably back at work at this point. You do see looks to be, it's a little difficult to tell, a halfling woman standing inside a small, looks to be a clothing shop, peering out the window at the group of you. So you've got to, you're be fairly confident that that this individual had seen something. Oh, and before I forget, if I remember correctly, I believe we agreed on a group nat 20 for this week.
Aye.
So you will, for those of you watching the stream at home, you will see that sort of floating up right underneath Extra Life, right up over this, sort of this direction some way. So just keep in mind, whoever wants to use it can shout it out. I gotta turn this on so my background stuff's getting too wonky on me. Okay, so you've seen that individual.
Guys, I'm not sure exactly who that was, but I think that lady over there saw what happened. I'm gonna go ask her who that was, just so we're sure and we don't go barging into the wrong place. And I'm just gonna walk over in the direction of that shop.
I'm gonna go over to where Lydia vanished and like stick my arms out, trying to like feel if magic is afoot.
Okay, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Guess what I'm bad with. Excuse.
Hmm?
Sorry, the cat is interfering.
Oh.
That's gonna be 8 altogether.
You hear Art chuckling a little bit in the background, as they're pretty sure they could. Well, let me just. Yeah, Art's thinking you're probably thinking that they're invisible, the way you're just sort of going around, waving your arms around a little bit. And, yeah, it's going through, you really can't tell anything. You don't know if... Again, you make the assumption where they both vanished, it was probably magical in nature. But you're not feeling anything, like you don't bump into anyone.
I've narrowed it down. They're not invisible.
Oh.
Well, it appears to be some kind of magic.
I would believe it would be some sort of. Would I know what kind of spell this is? Possibly.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
I would love to make an Arcana check. Let's see. I would love if my computer didn't freeze while I'm trying to make an Arcana check. Refresh, please. D&D Beyond. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Or 14. I don't know.
Oh, okay, it's...
Bear them up.
As you're going through it, it's... Let me just take a look here and see...
Well, you see, it's probably
They did this spell, you see, and you know it's the sort of spell where people.
They're actually just so small. They're actually just so small right now that you can't see them.
Yeah, as you watched this individual cast a spell, the only thing you'd catch with that roll is you watch them sort of take like when he reached up and grabbed her, he took a step. It looked like he was taking a step forward, like he was going to be bringing her somewhere, almost like walking through a door. So you're not the couple of things that you would have seen at your level potentially. It doesn't look like a normal, like a misty step or anything like that, where it's just sort of like, boom, boom. You watch as he reaches up and starts to cast it. It's just that the only thing giving you pause is that sort of one thing. Oh, reach up, grab the shoulder, and almost like he was pushing her through a doorway.
Hmm. I mean, I don't want to believe that they've just been moved to a different plane of existence. I don't want to believe that the people here are capable of doing that, because that's going to... Too many people are learning how to do that these days. Back in my day, it used to be hard.
I mean, do you know for sure that's what happened here, or no?
I do not know.
Ma'am, excuse me. I have a question. I noticed you watching through the window.
She sort of pencil. I wasn't watching nobody. I didn't see nothing.
Sorry, no, you're not in trouble. I just was wondering if you knew who that man was that came up to us.
How do you not know? What'd you do that he went and took one of you?
We're new to town. Maybe we attracted a little bit of attention. He didn't introduce himself, you see, and I think that's terribly rude, and, you know, it would be very helpful if you would let me know.
And go ahead and make a persuasion check. You can see she seems to be more than a little sort of spooked.
Yeah, that's 11.
Oh, okay. She sort of, again, gives that sort of hemming and hawing, sort of looking back and forth a little bit. I could get in a lot of trouble if I say something. How about this? My, she looks down and you watch as she gets a little, almost like a smirk on the face. My next payment is due next week. I might be persuaded to tell you for 50 gold.
You know, we were just in to see the blacksmith, and we agreed to help get some of his stuff back. Maybe we could also retrieve some of your stuff.
I need to be able to sell it in order to get the coin. She starts gesturing around her, and you're seeing it's very just sort of, I guess I'll call it farm folk fashion. I mean, most of these things would probably sell for maybe 4 or 5 copper. It's not like she's making a whole lot of money off this. She's like, if they're not going to open the town, I need the money more than I need the clothing back.
Well, I can tell you that we're working on it, but I can also give you the 50 gold.
She reaches out and holds out her hand.
I hand her 25 of it, and I'll give you the other half after the information.
And I guess I sort of asked for that one. So, that would be... And she leans forward, very almost conspiratorially, and puts her hand up beside her mouth. Ramnulf Galpsy. He's one of the rods. He's one of them type folks.
That makes sense. Tell me, is he a newly acquired rod or a original?
No. Ramnulf's been one of the rods here for, well, when we elect him every 4 years, he's been elected. He won his second election, so it's got to be 5.5 years now he's been one of them.
Thank you, that helps very much. And I'll give her the other 25 gold.
She takes it and immediately heads back behind the counter. You can hear some sort of box unlocking. Thank you. This'll make my payment next week.
It was no problem. Thank you for the information. I won't tell anybody that you told me. And leave the shop and go back to the group.
Okay, so as you start approaching your friends, we are going to jump over to Lydia. Lydia, you're somewhat taken aback as this strange individual has just sort of put his hand on his shoulder, and as you heard a couple of words starting to get mumbled, you felt almost like stepping through a curtain.
Mm-hmm.
As you look around, you see your friends are still standing.
Oh.
About 10 feet in front of you. But it's a strange sensation for you, as it feels like you're looking at them through a fog bank. They're discolored. The world around you has this sort of strange, almost otherworldly feeling to it. The very atmosphere itself you find yourself standing in feels thicker. It feels more difficult to move, almost. You watch as a couple of moments as this individual is taking his hands off your shoulder and sort of steps to the side and is turning to face you. As you watch as Sarah comes running up and is mere inches in front of the two of you and starts wildly swinging her arms back and forth. And they're just passing through you as if you weren't even there.
Oh god, I'm a ghost! What did you do to me?
As he looks over. You're not a ghost. We have stepped into one of the bordering realms of the material plane. It's a little hideaway. I find it's good to have conversations and people can't hear, they can't listen.
Can I take your word for that? Since I already am here and I really don't have a say in the matter, I guess. Who are you?
Suppose now is about as good time as any for introductions. I'm Ramnulf. I am one of the rods of this wonderful little town.
I see. We were looking for you. I guess the barkeep sent word.
Yes, you said you were from out of town and you had, well, you seemed interesting.
Well, we heard that you were having trouble here, in Succumber because, bandits, but I guess a little too awkward to finish that sentence. Are you new or old, Rod?
This is my second term.
Second term, Rod. I see.
But
I see.
it seems if you came to deal with the bandits, well, 10 day and a platinum short, but
Yeah. What happened to the other 6 rods?
well, we had usually 9. 2 of them, as one of my guild that found out, were planning to remove those who didn't go along with their ideas, to bring their own group in. Well, rather than get myself killed, of course I joined. The
An
others,
opportunist.
I prefer survivalist.
Mm.
I have some tricks like this, but you can only stay hidden here for so long before people notice. As you can no doubt tell, hard to survive here. Eventually you have to go home.
Kind of weird, not gonna lie.
Oh, wait, look at that one. She's running over that way. Oh, it's always fun digging one out of a few. The other's chickens with their heads cut off.
Yes, we are. Well, usually not her, but
What?
it's usually a bear, not a chicken. Has her head. So where did the rods come from? The new ones? And what do they want?
What do they want? They want what most people want. Money, power, maybe a few trinkets. They tend to leave the inn alone, but that's where they get their booze and food, so... Right now,
Well.
nobody in the town can do anything without their say, and once they have their fill of the coin and have bled people dry, I'm sure they'll move on somewhere else unless we can find a way to get rid of them. Unfortunately, most things of value are locked up in the barracks, and well, let's just say they left their largest garden there, so...
Great. So where did these new rods in their empire come from, if not from here? Did they move in from another place?
Yes, they came from a group out in the highlands a ways out.
And
The other, I suppose I should say the other two who were elected for this, I suppose term is the best verbiage for it. They were, shall we say, less forthcoming with their loyalties. So now we find ourselves dealing with this. I have tricks to move and remain unseen, but not too much in the way of a fight.
where do your loyalties stand as far as the town? Are you in it for the people, or are you in it for the money now?
I'm in it for Succumba. Succumba
I
is my home.
appreciate that. I appreciate
Succumba
that.
will survive if we leave these individuals here. It will be poor, it will be painful, but it will live. If we can remove them without destroying the city or destroying its people, that is a better option. But again, we would need to remove them from their seat of power, which they hold within the barracks.
Any way into the barracks that you could tell us about?
Well, the easiest way is this way. If you just go south that way, it would take you a while to get there, but you can walk right through the walls.
I could, but my friends can't, because we neglected to take them.
But yes, no, I can't quite bring that many people at once.
I see.
I suppose if... Jorda hems and haws a little bit. There may be a way if everyone trusts me. And his eyes get a little wider, and you watch as one just sort of drifts off a little bit, sort of cockeyed up towards the left. Yeah, potentially ways.
Right. Get an insight check, this guy. Just
Go ahead.
for fun to see if he's lying about like leaving us into danger or not. Cause I can do. I rolled in that one.
He seems to be completely on the level.
I trust you, sir.
He is completely confident in whatever cockamamie idea he's just come up with.
Definitely trust you. Seemed like you didn't kill me yet, and you brought me here. So why not trust you? With me and my friends' lives.
Well, then I suppose it's about time that we head back and, well, collect your friends and put a plan into motion to get you into the barracks.
Alright. I mean,
And with that, we're going to jump back over to the party as they've got a little bit of time while this conversation was going on that before the end of it. So what else would the group of you be doing as Fury, as you start coming out and meeting back up with your party? What would the group of you be doing?
I would tell the group what I learned about who that is. That he's one of your probably original three. And a wizard or some sort of magic user. It's complicated. I'm natural. Lydia's also sort of natural arts. Never mind. That's another conversation.
Do you have any idea where he might have taken her?
The only thing I can think is the barracks. If it's a normal one of those, like, transportation spells that people always do. But I really don't know. She didn't say. I didn't ask. But, I mean, I suppose we could start heading over there.
I guess, yeah, it's a place to start at least.
I will keep an eye out to see if they appear anywhere else, but that's probably the best idea.
Sarah?
We're sure they're not invisible, correct?
Well, I mean, they could be, and I just point, like, randomly down a street, like, way over there.
And you said that that's the one thing you were sure of, wasn't it? That they weren't invisible?
I was sure, but I'm also not sure.
I'm sorry I don't have my locate object spell prepared right now. That would tell me for sure if they were invisible.
Does Lydia
Within a
have
mile.
an object?
I mean, she was wearing, like, her necklace or her shirt.
I don't understand this magic nonsense. But if we go to where Lydia is, then we go to where Lydia is.
But that's the problem. We don't know for sure where she is.
Well, you had an idea. I thought you were sure.
Yeah, we could start walking over there, but we would just want to walk up and ask, "Hey, is our friend here?"
Well,
Do we
no, you can.
do we know where the rods normally stay during the day? Are they in the barracks or are they somewhere else?
I don't know.
I suppose
I'm not-
their homes. It's not as if
Maybe.
they all live together.
I mean, is there some official building where they conduct their business, or
well, it seems like all of the trials have been held here in the church,
Hmm.
the temple. It may possibly be the barracks because it's well defended, but I'm not sure. The thing is, they did not attack her, just merely took her, and she was the one that they were looking for, or told to look for, so
it's true?
she's probably not dead.
Yes, I think you're right. Also, it does fit with what the lady said, that he's a wizard, because his armor looked like it's like his second time putting it on.
Yes, that's right. It sure looks like it hadn't seen any battle.
No, it did not. And I don't know of anyone that can just do that sort of magic, so wizard seems most likely. At least I hope. Unless there's also some sort of warlock infestation going on here, in which case I will flip my lid. But I don't think so.
Never
About
say
that
never.
time-
I mean,
About that time, you start to watch as this strange sort of shimmering as you watch Lydia and this individual just almost fade back into view a few feet in front of you.
So were they invisible?
Lydia, you're back. Are you alright?
Muted.
Muted.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm fine.
They took her voice away.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not
Gonna-
sure exactly where I was, but I could see you.
Is the gentleman returned with her as well?
Yep.
I point my cane at him as if I'm gonna like poke him in the belly with it, and he goes, "Haven't you ever heard of not actually disapparating people without actually explaining what you're going to do? I should bop you over the head. Rude."
Or introducing yourself first.
I asked if she trusted me. She said yes.
That's not an introduction.
People say they trust me all the time. I mean,
Well, I would too. Look at you.
So just who are you?
Oh, let's redo this again. Well, as I apparently am going to keep doing, I am Ramnulf. I'm one of the rods here. I have a way to get you where you need to go.
Lydia, can we trust this guy? Like, really? Not just what
Oh,
he
yeah.
says?
I'm going to insight check him.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an
Well,
insight check.
all he said is his name so far.
I'm going. Can we like insight
So-
intent,
so
or the
what
fact that
happened?
we don't trust Lydia?
So what happened, Lydia, while you two were gone?
Enough filled me in on a couple things. Another thing. Sending is just one creature. Let's see.
Well, let's move a little farther away from the marketplace and huddle up somewhere. You know,
Yes.
if you want to do that. Trade
You know.
information.
You know, sir, you don't have to explain yourself multiple times if you don't take everyone individually to explain yourself.
Yes, a secondary location never shows a good motive. I
I'm
should
just
know.
saying, like, 10 feet that way.
No, I mean, don't teleport or disapparate or whatever you do one person away and explain yourself, because then you have to explain it to everyone else. I agree we should spend 10 steps away.
Everybody shuffle to the right.
The party goes, what if we push it somewhere else?
He just sort of nods and basically let you guys walk over to where you think a secure location would be.
Now, good sir, first I'm going to ask that you do not take our Lydia again. Please.
We've already had that discussion. We do not need her again.
Second, please explain your intents and purposes.
Oh, I can regurgitate everything for them. So
You just sort of waves over at her and
Yeah.
it's just like just rubbing his temples a little bit like "Ugh."
So I'll just tell them that, you know, there were two in the group. The other two rods were planning on this coup, and this guy's like kind of along for the ride for survivalism, and you know, he would be happier if the town was in safe hands with the bandits away, but he just wants the town to prosper in general. So, and that's how we left it before we went back to the plane where we all are now. So,
As Lydia is telling about the two that were bad eggs and him, can I insight check him to see if that was really the truth?
Yeah.
To see if he has a reaction?
Definitely.
Oh, 17.
Okay. It's as she's going through and explaining the aspects of like how he came to be in the situation. No reaction. You get the impression that he's being on the up and up on it.
Okay, I just
As
want
she
to make
gets
sure.
in and sort of regurgitates that he's got this, foolproof plan to get all of you into the barracks, no sweat, no mess. You get a slight hesitation, like, he's got a plan. He's like a strong 65 to 70%. It's a good one. But
Do you happen to know what those two people's favorite foods might be?
Oh, gods.
Oh dear.
it's not exactly like we sit around eating dinner. We only really get together when there's a trial to be had.
Yes, but even if you've just had a moment of moshing with the fellas.
Usually it's drinking if we're doing anything of that nature.
And their drink of choice.
Well, there's a lovely little beverage you can get down at the inn.
And the
Our
name of
specialty.
that. Ooh. Okay. Feria, we're going to have a little talk later, okay?
I'm not sure I agree to this plan.
No. What plan? I haven't even told you the plan yet.
Well, I have a different plan just in case yours goes awry.
Sarah, how many times have your plans not gone well? Like, 9 out of 10 times they've not gone well.
This is true.
But this time, I've had more preparation.
I looked sort of at the sun like, it hasn't even been 5 minutes.
Well, if I had a little help, maybe I could just know what sort of berries the lovely druid had that could be mushed and put into drinks, and then that would give us a little bit of a workaround for this whole problem.
The only berries I
Berries
have
be
on
good.
me are nutritious and wholesome.
Yeah, lots of berries are good in drinks. Cranberries, raspberries, strawberries,
I have a
blueberries,
So what is your plan,
boysenberries.
Ramnos?
He looks at the group of you.
Blackberries. Did I say that?
No, I'm thirsty. Well, my thought is this. We can, by some manner, procure a rather large amount of gold paint. We will put all of you in sort of a suspended animation. A false death, if you will call it that. Cover you in gold paint and pass you off as statues.
And how do we get out of that?
It only lasts an hour.
And get us into the barracks?
Well, yes, if you look as valuable as large gold statues. I mean, look at... I mean, the small ones, maybe not so much value, but... I mean, this one... Huge!
What if they want to... we are not made of metal, even if we look like we're made of metal. What happens if they want to touch the statues?
What if we all just went into a box and the box was painted gold?
Or a horse.
Oh, that's
Like-
a good one. I heard this story once where they put a
Yes.
whole army into the horse, and
If you put
I
the,
don't remember how it ends, but it ended.
if you put the
And-
big one with the sword in front, I mean, he's got metal on. As long as they poke in the right spot, it'll be fine.
And even if this gets us inside, are we going after these other two rods, or are we going after brigands?
It's the rods that are the problem.
Yes, the rods are the problem in there.
Well, there's a rod in front of us, I'm just saying. You know?
Looks down at you and takes a fairly large step away from you and a little closer over towards Lydia.
Are we killing all the rods that are bad, or just the 2 ones that overthrew the village?
You can't know who's good, who's bad. so why not just...
Well, the 2 killed the other 6
Right.
and brought in new 6. So technically all of them are bad.
Yeah, except for this guy. That sounds suspicious too, actually.
That is very suspicious.
We could just chase them out of town.
We could.
And aren't the rods using these brigands as their weapon, in a way? Aren't they commanding them, or?
Yes, but the ones controlling the brigands are in the barracks.
Just killing all of their people is not going to fix the problem.
Yes.
No,
They're the ones. There's the ones that made the new rule that is hurting the town. Plus the Lord's lines and the, not letting people in.
Do we have a day to plan, or did you want to do this today, guys?
You can have a day if you want.
Okay.
I still suggest the tavern party, and then a little bit of something, but apparently no one wants to listen to Grammy for this one.
And how are we supposed to get them all together?
Well, you should know better than anyone the effects that alcohol can have on oneself. Isn't that right, Feria?
No, actually. It wasn't actually that bad. It was pretty good.
Minus the part where you stole a corpse?
I put it back.
We did put it back.
Anyway, good sir, if you could get your associates to gather at the tavern.
I can try. When?
What if someone innocent gets the potion though?
Mm-hmm. Or somebody else is blamed for the mistake, like the innkeeper.
True, the innkeeper could die. Because they think he's complicit.
Would scorched earth be better?
If only it hit the rods? Maybe.
I strangely feel like this one's weird statue idea would actually work. It's just a matter of timing it correctly.
Well, they already saw us coming through the
I
town.
can disguise myself though.
Given time, I believe I could also. Not just into an animal, as usual.
Who feels like going in the makeup chair?
I've done it once
Actually, I
before. I could do it again, but I mean, I'm not sure if using the kit would be all that helpful in this case.
How about...
I mean, maybe the other rods know what we look like. I don't know.
What if we did a slight variation of the plan where the majority of the party went through as statues, but 2 of us or so, just to make sure that the timing everything goes correctly, requests to help escort the statues in on the grounds of the statues being worth more than the tax, and that the difference will be paid out of the stores in coin. So then they let us in, and then we already have some of the party that doesn't need to disguise themselves, and some that are actively ready to do something in case something bad happens, instead of everyone being catatonic.
The only thing is that my disguise only lasts for an hour as well.
It only, technically, I mean, if we worked quickly, that's probably good enough.
Okay. Alright.
So
And yeah, on reflection, I can't change my appearance, but
If you're going to be statues, honestly, a hood and a cloak to make you just look like a statue of a robed figure would be enough. It's just a matter of getting you in so that the entire party is still within the barracks when the effect wears off. And then we're all on the inside. Because they'll probably have guards to escort the two people that aren't statues, but they won't assume anything is going to go wrong because they'll be severely outnumbered until they're not.
You know,
We're
I think
gonna-
that could work.
Where are we gonna make your statues? Though,
And-
do we have to leave the town and pretend that we found you, or should we come?
I mean,
Go
cover
into
of
the
night.
Okay.
What is the best time to do this, Ramnolf?
He sort of goes back and forth a little bit. Well, the big one's usually there just about all the time. So, if you go either after the evening meal or shortly after, right at breakfast.
What about breakfast tomorrow, so we have a little time to get our stuff in order,
Sounds good.
and you have a little time to prepare your supplies?
Yes, I can get all the games we'll need, and then I have a residence. That is, well, if you're on your way up towards the barracks, it's rather hard to miss. It is the first house on the left-hand side.
All right. I would request that I be one of the not statues, because that way I can, if there's any strange questions by those, I can probably explain myself.
Yeah,
And so
so
that I can watch you, I point at him.
Mm.
Make sure that you stay on the up and up.
I can be
yeah,
one
so
of the statues. I can't disguise myself, and I have a wonderful hood. But I think probably most of us, maybe only 2 of us, should be non-statues. Otherwise, too much suspicion will be raised.
I would feel relatively safe if you, Snowmoon, would be the other that escorted everyone inside. But then again, you would look very valuable if you were to be made of gold.
I don't know. I could, whichever we think is best. I'd
If
be
you-
fine.
If
I-
you were the statue, we could use you as the examples to let them inspect because of your armor
And scales.
and your skills. Much like metallic in nature.
If we think that's best, I'll do what I have to do.
I could cast barkskin on myself if we're worried about toughness, but then I wouldn't, look myself, or as valuable maybe.
Would you be able to turn into another more metallic creature, like the small dragon, or
I tried that back with the dragons, and it didn't work. So no, but
Do any of you have the ability to, if something went wrong, do any of you have the ability to end that effect early on someone?
I can dispel magic if that's what you're asking.
But yes, but you would have to be alert for that. So
Alright.
It would have to be someone that's not a statue that has that ability to be able to awaken
But
a statue.
that would only work on one person, right?
I think dispel is a area of
It
effect,
is.
right?
Is it area?
let me see.
Is it? I don't.
One creature, object, or one magical effect.
Within range, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but so if they were all under the same effect lumped together, but it doesn't carry for all of them. I don't know.
I'm going to say for this, I'll allow it. I'm not sure. Because basically, well, mechanically speaking, the spell that he is referring to is Feign Death.
Right.
So basically it is, he's casting this multiple times.
Right.
To basically deal with however many you're doing. So
it's the same spell, but multiple versions of the spell.
Right. So I would assume that it would be 4 different castings, but that's burning a lot of your resources for no reason. So we'll say for this instance, if you guys want to go the Dispel Magic route, I'll let one casting wipe it all out and we can look it up and verify it later.
Cool.
I can also do Dispel Magic. I think I've learned enough about my own magics to be able to do that. So, if nothing else, dispel me, I can dispel somebody else.
If I'm close enough, all I have to do is touch one of you and I can end it that way.
Alright, so then
How are we going to sneak him in as well? Are you just allowed?
He's a rod. Of course he's allowed.
I'm one of the people who deals with the taxes and the amounts collected.
I don't know. Maybe it would be suspicious to have the account in the barracks. I don't know how the hierarchy works.
You're talking about this amount of money.
Do the other rods know that you've gone out to find Lydia?
No.
Because otherwise I would say possibly you could all be statues, and then Lydia and I and you can all escort them in, and then if anything goes wrong, you can touch someone, you could dispel onto Furia can, and we can go from there. If worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we get in and time it correctly and everyone just wakes up.
I like this. And I can disguise myself if that makes it easier. So.
Also, once we're in, we're going after the rods, and we're doing what with them?
Leave.
Scaring them out of town? Killing them?
Just go to another town.
Or try to
might
get
go
back
to
in this
another
one?
town. Or come back.
Cut off all the right hands and tell them to scram? Like...
That's a better idea, I guess. Permanent maiming.
You don't need your
I don't-
hand to run a town.
But I'm just not sure how extreme
them-
are we being here.
Leave them in a nice little package for the Lord's Alliance to pick them up, and by then
Ooh,
we'll
better idea. Lord's Alliance, I forgot about them.
Are the Lord's Alliance interested?
We could take them back with us
Capturing
to
these
Daggerford.
True.
Once the Lord's Alliance is made aware of what they've done, I don't see why they wouldn't want them.
True. Or I can message, what's his name, Delphin, and tell him about our situation right now, and he could have people on his way.
notify the Lord's Alliance. Delphin could notify the Lord's Alliance possibly ahead of time, and they can just come pick them up just outside the
That's what I
gate.
was thinking.
Yeah, I would say if you're going to send a message, say that we figured out the bandit situation and have something about let's discover the root of the problem and plan to capture as many alive as possible. Please come pick up.
For the ongoing casework that I'm doing for you, handing over desired criminals to the Lord's Alliance might help me negotiate any future or currently standing issues with the Lord's Alliance. Not that there are any existing, but just in case. Does this sound good?
I think so, and I think less time we spend here talking with Ranulf, the better, in case somebody figures it out.
Are your other rods much inclined to fighting Ranulf? Are they going to put up any resistance against us?
Can they also do the walking between out away between? Where did you go?
Just, we went to a little place I used to hold private conversations. a sort of boundary between this world and the next, if you will.
So that is what he did. An interesting little trick.
That's one an old friend of mine taught me. But, no, most of them are more civil-minded. After my younger days, I moved here and it seemed a decent place. There are one or two who like to, get into some trouble occasionally, but they are more... I mean, I'm assuming this one with the sword bigger than the two of you combined. You'd probably deal with them with minimal problem.
All right, just trying to prepare for all the possible outcomes.
It's just... Be mindful, as I said, only one or two should really put up much of a fight. As long as you deal with the head of the guard, you'll be... The rest of them should topple like so many sticks.
And if all else fails, Feria, could you please explain to me the berries, the actual ones I was talking about?
I don't have any on me. I'm sorry.
So we have good berries, but not bad berries.
I do not carry bad berries on me. Not that style.
Do you want me to send Delvin a message right now? So he has time to collect some people.
Yes, if we're doing it tomorrow morning, it's going to take him a day or two to get here.
Right. Alright.
Or, I mean, he could, I don't know, he's a wizard, right? He could bamf. Like, and I gesture at our new friend. Make sure to tell him when we're doing this. So he doesn't arrive too early. And waste his time.
And are we going to take them outside of the gates, or have them come inside the city walls? What exactly is the plan?
Well, there are those two troublemakers at the city gate.
I don't think it would be any problem for us to bring them out. But I'm sure if they came in, it's not going to be a problem either. It's not that big of a town.
If it's the same two oafs all of the time, then I think that I could deal with them one more time. I don't mean to sound as if they are oafs. That was rude of me. Educationally challenged.
Oh, they were very oafish.
Books are hard to find sometimes. Depends on where you're from.
They were more than just lacking book smarts, let's say.
Shall we meet you at your abode and commence this plan then?
Into the
Soonish.
morning, then. And with that, he watches you, again, does that sort of little conspiratorial look over his shoulders a little bit. Then as he turns and starts walking away, and you watch as he just sort of fades into nothing.
Ooh, I've got to learn that. Alright, I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna send this message to Delphin. Is Lydia in Succumber? No bandit situation. Barracks at dawn. Oh, 7 rods corrupt. Barracks at dawn. We'll leave what we can alive. Come collect others as prisoners.
I think that works. Don't make any big promise.
As many as we can.
A couple of minutes goes by and you get a response back. No. We'll send Lord's Alliance. Not my job. And that's it.
Okay.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Like,
We go.
hey, old
It's
wizard
like-
man, come collect these people. No.
I couldn't fit Lord's Lions. I couldn't please ask Lord's Lions to come collect these prisoners, so I just did come.
Just don't say please.
Still couldn't fit.
Barracks at dawn. Lord's Alliance pickup. Okay, thanks, bye.
Some alive? Question mark?
TTYL.
TTYL. Is that one? Does that count as one word for sending?
Sure.
I feel like sending is like Twitter. Like you have to make a complete word for
Yeah.
it to count.
LOL, caret 3, or greater, less than 3, less than 3.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
much. What about you?
Okay. So this is happening in the morning. Where
kids in their Twitter speak. I'm confused.
I'm going.
Yeah, we're doing this like right after breakfast
Okay.
tomorrow.
What are we doing for the rest of the day?
Well, I plan to do a little shopping. If anyone would to join me.
Does anyone plan on dying? Should I have
Uh,
to drive by?
Lydia, I don't think anybody plans on dying,
Then I will unprepare revivify.
So,
but it
Happens to
always
all
is
of us
good to have it in
eventually.
case.
I mean,
Some-
give me a good another like 15, 20 years, and then we can talk about that. But don't bring me back then. I'm going on a permanent vacation.
Where?
We'll see.
I'll go along with you, Sarah. If
Okay, you
if
can
not,
carry
just
the
to
shop.
keep an eye on you.
Yeah, I would like to pick up a couple things actually.
Okay.
Okay, the map finally loaded.
Um, Lydia, are you going shopping with them or not?
Shop for unless we go back in the armor store, but still not sure what I want exactly.
Well,
And
we
then
could
you
go
would
for.
also remember that if you guys manage to bring stuff out of the barracks back to them, you guys get a discount.
Right,
Mhm.
so maybe I'll wait on that.
Well, Lydia, if you'd like to, I know you said that you wanted to speak with me more, so while they go shopping, if you'd like to go for just a little walk together, that way I can also make sure that no one teleports you away, and we can just talk.
All
Does that
right.
work?
Sounds
Alright.
good. Sounds good.
Then we will see you all back at the tavern? The inn?
Yes, that's where we have rooms. So
So,
Right. Well, enjoy your shopping.
So Art gives a little nod, and Art's just going to head back to the inn
Okay.
and read up, and we'll give Art some free hours copying spells over, because I think Art still has a few
Yeah.
more to copy into the spell book anyway.
Use your new candles.
Okay.
I would like to find an apothecary of some sort. Because we all know how well it went the first time.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
Okay.
It's not a very difficult one, as the town's not very large, and you guys were just sort of in the market area.
So altogether, I rolled a 7.
Okay. So as you're looking around this, and again, basically the market area is one small stretch of street, and then it sort of bulbs off into this little cul-de-sac. So if you're looking at the map itself, the actual market area is this area right here.
Oh, I was.
So it's what they have in here as you're looking around trying to find and going with the assumption I think I know what you're looking for. You scan around, you look at all these shops, and you don't really get the idea that anyone's going to have exactly what you're looking for. You see the
Okay.
blacksmith, you see a clothing shop, you see like a looks to be a very sort of general purpose store. As you're sort of just walking by in little window shop, you can see it's got a couple of looks like backpacks in it, some ropes, some climbing pittons, things like that. Bunch of farming tools. None of these places looks like they really sell the more specialized items that you're looking for.
Nothing like a potion vendor or something?
No.
No. Well, Fudge. Well, what are you dearies looking for? And I'm gonna turn back to Fairy and Snowman.
I already bought a new blade, so I think I've got all I need.
I was hoping. I believe you said that there was a Fletcher's that we passed on our way to the blacksmith's.
Oh, yep.
I would like to just go by and pick up like 20 arrows.
Yeah, easy to do. Let me just see here. Don't know what the cost of arrows is. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. I'll charge you 2 gold pieces if you're for the 20 arrows.
I sort through them. I make sure the ones I pick out are, if I can, are straight and the fletching is bound on very well, and I pay 2 gold for them.
Yeah, it looks you're not quite sure it's really worth 2 gold, as it's a little expensive for arrows. But as they let you go through them all, and the ones you pick out straight, you don't think you'll have any problem with any of them.
Yeah, and understanding the plight of the town, I'm not going to argue at this point. Maybe in a different town, but this one, not. I'm not going to put out the effort.
Okay. If there's nothing else you guys are doing, we will jump over to Lydia and Murdoch.
She walks with her cane and one hand very poshly behind her back with a closed fist.
Are you okay there?
I'm quite all right. Are you okay?
I believe so. Going to an alternate place is a little spooky, but we've had our share of, as you know, we've had our fair share of troubles along the way.
Yes, I'm
Not
very...
the spookiest.
That is why I'm here. To either make those happen a little less frequently or so that you all can deal with them a little better. I'm sorry that I couldn't help you in that situation. I'll try better in the future.
Don't apologize. You don't have to. Can you tell us a little about your organization? In a nutshell.
Sure. In a nutshell, we are a group of people that care about the protection of the material plane and those that rightfully inhabit it. And so, when there are issues with creatures coming and going as they please or by accident, we go and deal with it. I, personally, like to do it without hurting people. I find that a lot of times, planar issues are normally, if they're not of malicious intent, they're normally accidental. And normally people are confused and scared and probably just want to go home. And that's on either side. So, I do what I can to try and figure out how to get them to go back home.
You've been a lot of places doing this.
Yes, indeed. Up and down the Sword Coast, or anywhere from Silvery Moon down to Baldur's Gate, and all the places in between.
Have you seen anywhere that has this amulet, native to it? And I'll show her the stone gemstone amulet that I keep around my neck. Have you seen this stone anywhere? I'm trying to find where it belongs.
I'll take a closer look at it.
Sure. I'll take it off and give it to her.
Okay, now this, to make sure I'm going with the right one, because I can't remember how you've described your holy symbol. This is not your holy symbol. This is the one from, okay.
This is, yep.
So, go ahead and make an, I guess we'll call this a history check.
All right, not too bad. No, I used the natural 20 last time. I want to leave it up to fate. 15.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say it's a 15, but if it helps, I do have the researcher feature from the Sage background, which says when you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you do not know the information, you often know where and from whom you could obtain it.
Okay. So, you do not actively know of a place where this is like commonplace. But as you're sort of looking over and taking a few minutes, you're pretty sure you know where you can find out. It's just a little ways south of Baldur's Gate. It's a repository.
I don't know exactly what this is, but I have studied at a place that I am quite sure that if the information on it is not there, then it is nowhere on this plane. It's a little bit south from my home of Baldur's Gate. Have you ever been near or heard of a place known as Candlekeep?
Lydia's a sailor. Maybe she, I don't know.
It's right on the coast. You might have
Is it?
seen
Then
it
Lydia
on the
would probably have heard of it, but not been inside. No.
And Lydia, you would also have heard of it as it is one of 3 locations that you were told you had a task to deal with.
Right.
Oh.
So you have at least heard of it, as you have information on it back at your home location.
Mm-hmm.
Candlekeep is it looks like a castle from the sea. It is a walled-off stone fort, but it contains no weapons and no soldiers. It is a repository of knowledge, and probably a shining beacon at that for the entire Swords Coast. Scholars from Silvery Moon to Waterdeep all go to study there and learn of great secrets that have been kept for many, many an age. I've studied there myself sometimes. But to even be allowed inside, one must be able to provide some knowledge for the library. Something that they can keep as sort of a payment to be allowed within its walls. If there was any place that would be able to tell you about this amulet, I am 100% certain that it is there.
We'll have to make that one of our stops then. Thank you, I appreciate your time.
Of course. Is that the only thing that you wanted to speak to me about?
Get to know you, and glad that you can seem to be steady on your feet. You know, I hate to make assumptions, but you know I'm here if you need me. To let an arm or a hand.
I will keep note of that. Thank you. The cane does me good most of the time, but I do get tired. Especially if there's a lot of stairs. There's a lot of stairs to temples and such. Gets me a little winded. Perhaps then
I agree. Too many stairs and temples. I agree.
It's just not accessible.
No.
You know, and I really think that we could move to ramps. Steady inclines. It would just allow a lot more people to go to temple. But that's a completely different conversation. Are you ready
Thank
to go
you.
back? Oh,
Yes.
All right. We can go back.
So eventually, as you guys finish up your walk, and the other group has tried their hand at shopping and hasn't had a whole lot of, or some of them have had a little luck, some haven't had too much. You sort of all gather back at the inn to enjoy the rest of the afternoon and then prepare for the morning. Before we jump into our next part, this is probably the best spot for us to take our break for this evening. It's just before 9:30. So we'll be back in just a few moments, folks, to see how their somewhat strange plan to get into the keep for listening to a somewhat odd rod of justice to deal with the head of the guards and to try to liberate this city. So we'll be back in just a few moments, folks. Don't go anywhere. And with that, we have returned. As our party has had their various different adventures, misadventures, or quiet moments bonding as they wandered through the city. Eventually finding themselves back at the inn as they potentially are preparing for the evening and what is to come tomorrow. Is there anything anyone else would be looking to do before turning in for the night, before you get ready for tomorrow's assault, I suppose?
No?
No?
Okay. So eventually you guys have yourselves a decent meal, head in to bed for the evening. I managed to wake up nice and early, so you have a little bit of time to get yourself some food. I can't speak. To get yourself some food. And eventually it gets to be that time for you guys to get ready to head out to go meet your new friend Ramnulf at his home. Is there anything anyone would be doing as you're making your way over there? You guys just...
I
Everybody-
forget if I was disguising myself or not.
You don't want to do it yet because it's only going to be an hour.
Right,
You want
okay.
to do it as close as possible.
Alright.
Everybody scratch your nose before we do this. We're gonna be stuck there for a while.
Oh, I don't have to. Okay.
No, you're fine.
I put on a new tie today. This one's blue.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
Looks very good on you.
Thank you.
Goes out. It goes with your eyes. It accentuates.
Okay, I'm just trying to get a... There we go. So you've got a little red dot on where this guy's house is. Way down over here. So a bunch of you guys start making your way up. Coming out of the inn, heading up around the bend. Only takes you about 7 to 10 minutes to get there. You're not seeing a whole lot of people out yet. At this point, it's still very early in the morning. You do see, again, as you're walking through, you do see the 1 or 2 odd guards here or there. But you sort of finagle your path to make sure that you're not going to be walking right next to any of them. But eventually you manage to get up there. As you start approaching the house, you actually notice on the southern side, sort of towards the back of the house, you can see your friend sort of sticking his face out from behind the house, looking for you, just or beckoning you to sort of come back around towards the back of the house rather than going right in the front door.
Will do.
I'll follow to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He's so creepy. He's a creepy little man.
He's portly and cute. Maybe. Or a
As-
creepy little... I don't know. That's his character.
Danny DeVita.
Eh,
The trash man.
Man.
A short,
Get on
sweaty,
the break,
lumpy little man.
You just start throwing trash all over the ring.
As you guys start to turn and come around to the back of the building, you see that he's got a little, I'm going to call it a cart, but it's a little smaller than that. But he's got a little cart situated with a couple of spots. Looks to be a couple of braces for those of you that are going to be, sort of real-life mannequins for a little bit.
Mhm.
Now he's got a brace sort of put up and somewhere that as you guys get situated, sort of like drape a cloak or something over the back so it hides the brace that's going to be holding you in position. Also has, as you look down, just buckets of gold paint.
I'm never going to get that out of my hair, am I? Oh dear.
I have a little recipe that I can help you with. It involves lemon juice and this little bit of oil. You can get it from some leaves. It works wonders on your hair, really. Right out.
Well, paint first and then the spell, or...
It depends on how ticklish you are.
I think because we have a time limit, maybe paint first and then touch-ups after would be better.
So looks over and who's our first victim?
Don't say it like that. Don't say victim.
I'll go first.
Oh, I'll help paint. I'm so sorry.
As collectively, everyone sort of went.
I'm just gonna like slowly turn my head towards Murdoch.
He'll just kind of look at her like,
There's a lot of man to paint. It would, multiple people painting would make it go faster. Is that not true?
True. Better hold still, Snowmoon.
just kind of like looks down at the ground.
And Dodgy comes over and just sort of, starting out, just literally picks up a bucket and starts basically like free pouring over your head and shoulders. And then as it starts going down, just starts taking his hand and just like running it down your face and making sure that it's not a overly pleasant experience at all. But then you've got another set of hands on you, making sure everywhere is nice and covered.
You ever seen Ghosts?
Your shoulders are so broad.
I'm gonna like lean over the fear. She'll stop her.
She's
Have
actually
fun.
she's just painting him. She wouldn't do it if he didn't want her to. She wouldn't. She's mostly painting his armor. he's covered head to toe in armor.
True.
But eventually you got the two you managed to finish getting Snow Moon, and it's actually a really good rendition. It seems to be well covered. Again, it's the two of them is, giving you a few moments to air dry, go over and then start dealing with Artemis. Now, who are the two who were not getting painted? It was Murdoch and Lydia. Okay, so go over and
Second thought, Lydia might be hard because of fur, but so it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Takes a few minutes to get Artemis done next. Gets Artemis all taken care of, and again, it just sort of has the two of you sort of standing out over on what looks to be some old linens. Just sort of like air drying a little bit before sticking you up in the cart, so there's not like a trail of paint leading into it. Okay, then walks over and looks over at Furia and Sarah. Okay, who's next?
I
Well,
point at Sarah.
I was going to offer, but fine. Yes.
Comes along and again, much the same. Gets that first like about a half a bucket of paint just sort of dumped over you and just started running everything through to make sure there's good coverage on you. It feels like you're getting more, like there's more of it just sort of getting like clumped into your hair at points, and all you can think is, I'm gonna be washing this for weeks to get this out. But eventually gets you situated next over beside Snow Moon. And then that brings us over to Furia and
Yep, I'll make sure my hood is up, so hopefully I only have to do my face and not all of my hair. Pull my cloak around me because I don't have that much armor, and
Oh, okay.
squint and close my eyes so I don't get paint in my eyes. And
Goes through. Takes a little while. He does as he's doing it, does sort of like stick his hands up, and you do end up getting someone probably the first like couple of inches back on your hair. Doesn't go all the way into the back. Then after sort of gets cleaned up, and as you're starting to dry a little bit, just sort of goes back and basically pulls your hair back a little tighter and sort of like half sticks it in towards like the back of your shirt and your armor that you wear. Just so it doesn't like flow out as you guys are being moved.
Yeah, I would have my hood up anyway, so it would be stuck back there. Pretty good.
And then he starts moving you guys up into the cart, starting with Snow Moon, where you did Snow Moon first, and literally sort of situates you, Snow Moon, right up in the front, and it sort of leans you back onto this brace, and it's basically, as you're standing, it's the base of this thing is actually attached into the cart. And there's a straight, about a 2x4 coming up in the back. And it comes up and then basically onto almost a little half circle. It's made to sort of cradle your back. It's not exactly comfortable as it's not contoured to you. It's just sort of a rough C shape. But as he gets you situated and looks and says, "We didn't really paint in your eyes, so I'm going to say go ahead and close your eyes."
All right, and he'll close his eyes.
And as you close your eyes and you start to hear muttering and talking again. And then as the rest of you watch, as all of a sudden Snow Moon just stops. As he is now looks to be, if you didn't know any better, you would say he looks dead. He is just now standing in this and Snowmoon, what sort of position would you have taken as you're getting situated as this statue?
I guess I would just put my arms at my side and like straighten out my back. Just kind of like a stoic pose, I guess.
Oh, okay. So you see is this very stoic, sort of propped up individual. And as he's laying there, you watch his friend climbs up in front of him and goes, reaches sort of around around him a little bit, grabs a strap, and you watch he pulls it across and just sort of latches it to the other side of the harness, holding him up. He comes back down, looks over at the group of you. Okay, before we put the next one in, so I should have told him this first, but one of you can tell him when he wakes up. It just pops off on that side. It's... You ever had one of those belts where it's just an opening and you just stick it over the hook? That's all this is. That's enough because
Fine.
Well, he is... Well, as far as anyone's concerned, he is dead and is not breathing, not moving. He is not... It's not like I've petrified him. He is still able to fall should we take a rather rapid stop. So the belt is to make sure that they stay upright.
That's great. I guess time's on, so we don't want to mess this up.
Brings up Art next, sets Art up in the back, because Art really doesn't have any armor. So sort of sticks Art in the back behind Snow, and again gets Art situated in an artish pose. I'm not sure how Art would pose, but it then does the does the same thing, casts the spell again, buckles them on. Then brings up Sarah next. Brings...
How's that for
One hand on hip, one hand
Teapot.
He chuckles a little bit, but again casts a spell and gets you all situated and strapped up. Brings Furia up. And as you get up, Furia sort of adjusts and messes with the hood a little bit. And reaches down into his down into a pouch, pulls out what you see looks to be a small pin, and sort of pins the inside of your hood is on each side a little bit from the inside though, and just keep it down a little bit to be safe. Then
Good idea.
waits for to see if you're going to take a pose.
Because of the hood, I'll sort of do a mysterious person in alley pose. Head sort of down, sort of scrunched in a little bit, but, hoping the flow of the cloak will help it be more statuic.
And then cast the spell, and you fade from awareness.
That's so creepy to describe.
So for all of you at the moment, as you're all sort of, well, I shouldn't say for all of you, for Lydia and Murdoch as you're watching this, and as he's getting them situated, and you're watching as this paint is drying, as it's not dripping now, but even as he's sitting there even a couple of more moments, you're watching as the movement of Lydia's cloak seems to be up. Lydia, god damn it, Furia's cloak. Even as he's getting down in the cart's moon, you watch as it moves a little at the bottom, and then even that seems to stop. The little bits of wave that you would expect to see, everything seems to be almost as if it was encased in resin, as it just seems to be holding still.
Oh, the paint probably is like hard.
And as he looks over at the two of you and goes, and reaches out with his finger and just gives a little light flick to to Furia's cloak. And you don't hear anything as he flicks, but as you watch as it flicks, it doesn't move.
Oh.
It's not exactly, shall we say, magic, but it will stop it from moving a little bit. But the minute she actually gets up and goes to do anything, it'll crack off like a cheap cracker.
Nifty.
Quite a bit of coin for them to tell me how to mix this with some sort of glue in order to keep something from moving but not make it completely immobile.
But you could probably increase your profit for it by 100-fold if you just dip copper coins into it.
She sort of looks down for a second. Yes, possibly, but that may help out the town too if we take in gold and give out copper as gold.
I wasn't actually making a suggestion. That's very illegal. Don't do that. I was just thinking out loud.
I like the way you think. But come on, we should probably get going. And he starts walking.
What should I disguise myself as?
You should be I will be an old museum curator. I fit the role. And then you can be the artist that has made the statues.
I like it. And I'll turn into a some sort of tall elf.
Oh, okay.
These are elfin.
Yeah, elves.
Yeah.
Elves.
Elven artist.
Mhm.
So as Benji, he gets situated up on the cart and looks over at Murdoch and sort of gestures if Murdoch wants to sit as well. There's enough space for two.
I will go and sit next to him.
And then proceeds to start having this horse start to basically bring you guys along towards the barracks.
And I'm sorry, which ones are the barracks?
So it is, if you're on the map, it is literally this rather forty-looking thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
So we're literally we're gonna go up the spiral.
Yeah, basically you're just finishing going up the hill a little ways.
Okay, okay.
Ocean's 11 music on.
So as
Mission
you guys
Impossible.
start making your way up, as you get towards the barracks, you do notice that there is, as you're coming up to it, there is, again, a very large, heavy wooden door in front of it, barred on this side. As the group of you start to approach, you notice that there are 3 guards outside. They look to be humans.
Mm-hmm.
All wearing that same sort of reddish, ruddy armor that you ran into from the people outside. As you start walking in, they look, boy, it's a bit early for you, ain't it? What you bringing up here for? And Roundmouth looks over and says, we have someone who is willing to pay, and, well, we ended up with a rather large amount of gold, so I settled a tax price as well as, well, I wanted all of them from them, so I told them I would give him the difference in coin from our stocks. But I have the owner and, well, the big goofy one was the one who made them, and this one said it had to come along, so...
She is incredibly talented.
She's still
You will
goofy
see.
looking.
I take offense, sir. This is fine art that you could never understand.
And you watch as the couple of humans go ahead and make a deception check with advantage.
Oh, good. Okay. That's not bad. 16. Do I have anything? No, just straight 16.
I was gonna say, well, could me have been being like, she's very talented, been a bardic inspiration?
Sure, go ahead. Now you can
Add a D8.
Alright.
you can
D8,
add a bardic
nice.
inspiration on there for it.
Thank you.
Inspire. So
Ooh, +6. So 16 plus 6, 22.
There you
Hey.
go.
That inspiration mattered because they rolled a 17 on their insight check.
Oh.
So as you're
Thank
looking
you,
as they're looking over at Ramnolf at first, and then as Lydia starts speaking and they turn over and look, and then sort of back over at Ramnolf calling and Goofy, the three in this sort of seem almost a little taken by Lydia. But then as much as they're looking over towards Lydia's, rather tall elven form, they immediately sort of go back to the cart and start trying to peer back through. Ramolf leads over a little, lets him look in, and you can see pulls up a little bit and pulls a small coin out of his pocket. You watch it burst in a light, and he sort of holds it up, and you watch as it's held up, as it seems the entire inside of the cart just seems to glow with gold from these beautifully sculpted masterpieces. As they look over, I suppose it's what's the difference? How much when you go in there, his boss is going to want to have words about it, but I mean, he's like, no worries, I'll deal with the coin with him. Another couple
My
of minutes go-
work is priceless.
There's all of the other ones in the studio. I know. And everything that you make is going to be so dearly missed. But we have to pay this tax, apparently, if we want to do any business here.
Three of them sort of start hemming and hawing a little bit, but eventually The three get together, and again, you watch the three of them sort of Little Johning, lift this bar up, set it down, swing the gate out open towards them, and usher the three of you in with your 4 sculptures. As you start making your way in, about 3 or 4 minutes after you go in, you hear the doors start to swing back behind you. And again, you hear that scraping. It seems the bar's being put back on, and you see that as you're just sort of glancing around, you're starting to see other individuals within here wearing that same armor. As you're noticing, though, I want both of you to go ahead and make perception checks for me.
21.
19.
Okay, you both immediately notice this. These guys aren't human. They look to be goblinoid.
It's the hobgoblins for the stinking tree.
And as you're looking through at just as you're going through and you sort of glance over your shoulder back at the door, you notice there are 4 of them right outside the door. Looks like there's some sort of small, like, almost like tube or opening in one wall that allows them to talk through to the other side of the wall easily to get the door open from within. Yeah, Ramonoff just keeps guiding the cart, and you watch as it's going past a couple of smaller, just smaller buildings. He's pointing at you. There's the first guard post, and then we go down around here. There's little ways this way, and then we're going to turn to the right and head down towards the vault. That's where the boss will be.
And our coin that we're going to be paid the difference of? Yes?
Yes, everything's down just past the boss in the vault.
All right. Well, let's go then. We have things to do.
Continues on his way down. Eventually, you guys sort of fall around, and it dips down a little ways. And as you're going through, you notice you see a couple of more individuals, but it doesn't look like there's a huge number that are really within here. And then as you get down, you sort of drops down a little ways, and you come into an opening, and you can see, both of you see immediately, far end of this sort of entranceway is a large, what looks to be metal doorway. Sitting in front of said doorway, you see are 4 individuals, all wearing that same sort of ruddy armor, all the hair slicked back, that same complexion, again, very goblinoid features. Sitting off to the left, sitting in a rather large, looks to be a somewhat comfortable chair in front of a table that's, probably got about 30 or 40 gold coins on it. Looks like a dagger, a couple of books, and a plate of half-eaten food. You see a much more imposing figure, where it has sitting in a massive metal chest plate on, with lightly tooled, engraved images into the actual armor itself. Sitting beside this individual, somewhat almost curled up at the I guess I'll say at his feet, so to speak, is what looks to be a large, I'm going to say it almost looks to the two of you like a wolf, but there's something not quite right with it. It's looks like it could be a wolf, but not really. It's something else, but it's sort of close to it. And as you see that, Romnov sort of gives a little, trying to be sneaky about it, just sort of gesturing over towards the left a little bit.
I have my hands in my lap. I will just quickly I will message him. Just be like, mentally, just speak your mind. What are you trying to say?
Wish I could have done that easy. He's the one. Shall we say the power behind the throne? The one in the armor.
Ah, okay. Sorry, you're looking at everyone. I can't tell who you're trying to refer to, really.
And then as you guys are starting to pull in, and he sort of calls out over to Roundolph, and Roundolph gets down and just sort of gestures a little at you to just, like, wait a second, and he starts, glens down, starts waddling over. What would the two of you be doing as he's heading over this way?
I cross my legs and sit patiently, but I look
I'm going
over
like this. Around the room.
Oh, you're like, look, you're getting inspiration for your next piece.
No, I'm trying to see where to put this installation I have.
Ah, right.
You guys can hear some muffled conversation, and you can see it looks like the armored hobgoblin is not too thrilled with him. You got the impression from the guards upstairs, doesn't seem like this guy really wants coin coming out of the vault so much as being dumped into it. But eventually, Romnov gestures over and pulls himself up, reaches down, scritches behind the ear, and as this creature starts to get up, you realize that it is much larger than you thought, as it was just sort of curled at his feet next to the table. As it's standing up, you realize this is probably about the size of an elk, maybe a little bigger. Looks like even someone as large as Lydia could ride this thing. As he comes walking over and just sort of sticks his head around the corner, looking in back in towards the cart back where next to where Ramnolf was sitting, and sort of like staring almost right into Snow Moon and the I'm just sort of looking up and these ain't bad pieces. Solid, I hope.
Like, only 2 years each to finish one.
Solid all the way to the core. Pure gold.
He reaches over and looks down at the ground and picks up a rock and tosses it towards literally looking dead center on Snow Moon. Snow Moon, what's your AC? Just want to see whether or not he even connects.
I think he's muted.
You're muted, Manny.
Your AC?
17. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look here. What's his modifier? Alright, so he throws it and hits dead center on your chest armor. And you hear the ding.
These are works of art, sir. Please.
Hey, it's a tax payment. I gotta make sure.
Art pieces make the best tax payments. And the best tax write-offs.
Okay, you wait.
And you watch him as he waves down towards the floor at the far end of the room, and they start opening up the. You watch as they start turning the dial on the door and start opening up the vault, and walks back over and starts talking to Ramnulf again.
So can you quickly just remind me how many people are in this room? There's the boss.
As you're looking around, you have 4 what look to be let me just see exactly what you're so as you're looking down at the far end of the room next to the vault itself, there are looks to be 4 hobgoblins as to look to be wearing some sort of like chain shirt. They have a wooden shield strapped to their back.
Okay.
You see the imposing individual is just over there that it seems to be wearing full plate armor. And you have his large pet.
Okay, but that's it?
That's all you're seeing so far other than the, and this, as you're looking at this room, it's, you guys have sort of turned around and dropped down. So as you're looking around, you don't see any other obvious points of entrance or exit.
Okay.
So yeah, you're pretty confident. Again, they're just now starting to open the vault, so you don't know if there's anyone within the vault, but...
Fair enough. Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. And so you can hear them hemming and hawing, and sounds like there's a little bit of argument over the amount of coin that he agreed to pay out. But at this point, it's probably been about 35 to 40 minutes since you guys initially cast the spell that has all of them sort of situated like this. They go back and forth a little bit. Is there anything the two of you would be doing as they seem to be haggling over there for a couple of minutes?
Hey,
Yes.
we need to make this last at least 20 more minutes. Do you have any?
Yes, you! I could just frame you!
Oh, here we go.
Who are you talking to? Lydia the
full-plated
artist.
big guy.
Yes.
Okay. As you sort of call this out, he literally just puts his hand up in front of Remnant's face. I'm sorry, what?
That jawline! I haven't seen anything like that in all my days!
Oh my goodness, Latha, you have the most exquisite vision. You're right,
Yes.
he would be perfect for your next piece.
Oh, I have to sketch him! I have to sketch you! Now take out those pieces of paper that Art gave me last time, and just sit down and like put myself in front of him and just start to furiously just take notes onto the paper.
My good sir, what an honor it would be to be immortalized in gold, for all to adore till the end of time. This is wonderful. Yes! I can see the exhibit now.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Which one of us?
Murdoch at this point.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to go ahead and make a performance check. As you are trying to sort of, like you're taking notes and sketching this individual out.
Persuasion is 28.
Can I use the nat 20, guys?
Definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna use the nat 20.
Okay, so we had a group nat 20. It has now been used.
Oh my gosh. What did I call you? Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
So we'll drop that off the board. As the two of you start going off on this, you watch as he takes basically like a step or two forward towards the two of you. And Ramnolf behind him looks like he is going to lose his shit laughing.
I look over his shoulder.
Oh, he's holding it. I rolled to make sure he could actually maintain it. And as the two of you look, and Lydia starts sketching and drawing this out, and he just sort of looks over at the two and just says, points at Ramnolf and just,
Go eat in the cot.
and goes and moves the chair out a little bit and just sort of sits down and and then
Oh,
over
wonderful.
the next about 15 minutes or so, Lydia seems to actually do an exquisite.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, actually, do you have a modifier for your performance, or is it a 0?
Oh, it's a 0.
Okay. Yeah, so it's, I mean, for a 15-minute, basically, blueprint, this guy, and eventually is it about 15 minutes in, is he's sitting there, and you finish up, and you put the pencil down, and he just,
Oh, I want to see it.
and is it, turn on, his eyes just go wide. And Murdoch, even you, as you're looking at, as she sort of holds it up and looks at him, and then sort of turns it towards you and puts it to it.
Oh my god. It's your magnum opus.
Oh, it will be! Oh, it'll be wonderful.
This is going to have to be seen by everyone.
Gold? Let's go to the platinum!
Yes! Yes, I will let the dwarves know immediately that we need all of the platinum that they can mine.
Oh, fabulous.
You watch as his eyes just get a little wide and just looks sort of past you as he's sitting back down.
Well, you guys got to get out of here and get to work then. So, yeah, go. You know the number. Just go deal with it. And
Sits back down and
Yes. The payment will go directly into this next piece. Sir, you are going to be nothing less than a god.
just sort of reaches down, is just, again, seems completely lost in the illusion at the moment. And it's just, very absent-mindedly, Dr. Evil or Blofeld just sort of sitting there. There's Warg's head sort of plopped on his lap, and he's just sitting there brushing the hair, just sort of staring off into space.
Masculinity.
As Round's like,
all right, come on. We got it. Moving the doors open. See.
Yes, our payments that we can get back to. You need to get back to the studio at once, but we need the payments that we can order the platinum.
Yeah, sure. Go. We gotta get the things into. Yeah.
Yes.
He starts
Right.
bringing starts moving the cart down. And about this time, as you hop back into your seat, and Lydia starts coming up beside, walking next to the two of you. As you get up to the door again, the two on either side of these hobgoblins are standing there, and they look over.
Hey, you guys, you need any help getting those down? Those look mighty heavy.
Well, I am just a frail old woman. I was hoping that there would be some muscle that was going to help move them, yes.
And he looks over and gestures at one of them, and two of them sort of following behind the cart as you guys are wheeling in. First thing you notice as you guys come into this room is there is easily over 15 to 20,000 gold. just in gold coin scattered around the room. As you're looking around, you see other things, though. You're seeing clothing, you see weapons, you see armor, you're seeing artwork. It seems like anything, people who didn't have coin, their valuables are what are ending up in here.
It's the dragon horde all over again.
Pretty much.
Just be very careful. Don't drop it in front of the big man.
Should they other strategically positioned around the study area instead, so you can admire the gold magnificence?
He just sort of looks over and just... He still seems a little more lost in himself in a precious metal. He just sort of looks and just sort of very dismissively sort of waves.
Why, we'll put the dragon one right here next to your desk. Right next to the little one, and we'll put the other two in the back.
And we'll put the other two in the back.
Oh.
The Thandriel, your vision is always exquisite, even for your interior decorating.
Right, darling.
So,
there's like 3 more apostrophes than last time.
Okay, so the two of them come over and, Snowmoon, how much do you weigh?
289 pounds.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so, the first 2 hobgoblins come over and again sort of walk over and grab the base and the sort of sculpture and just very sort of back, almost teetering a little bit as they're pulling Snowmoon off, but set it down. As Snowmoon said, making him very, very stoic, standing as rigidly and straight as he could, and set it down a couple of feet away from this this gentleman's desk and him and his pet. And then, which one of the small ones were you referring to leaving there?
Oh, Granny.
Oh, okay.
Nearby.
So, he goes by and they go start taking Granny down. Okay, and the two of them easily able to pick up the little Granny teapot.
40 pounds.
And then situate her and basically set her over on the other side. Basically, Snowmoon's about 10 feet away on one side. Sarah's about 10 feet away on the other side. Basically flanking him, but at distance. And then they come down to the other two, Artemis and Furia, to start unloading them into the vault. And going to Furia first. Okay, and Furia, how much do you weigh with your equipment and stuff that you've got?
Probably 150,
Okay,
160
okay.
with including gear.
Okay, you're okay. They managed to get Furia down and sort of set... Furia, you took that sort of like sneaky alley thing. They sort of put you in as the door to the vault opens. They sort of tuck you over on that same hinge side, looking a little ways away from it. And then they take Artemis down. And I don't think there's any way they drop Artemis, but... Yeah. Managed to get all 4 of you down without a problem. About this time, the 4 of you start to feel your, I guess I'll say your sensibilities starting to return. As the Snowmoon, you're sitting there, your eyes clenched tightly shut. And really, hold on.
Hear
Guys.
us? I wasn't sure,
Yeah, I lost you for a
main death I
second.
looked into.
I lost you guys all for a second. Hold on, I gotta.
I meant can.
I think
Can
you're incapacitated, so I don't think you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, when they're in that state, and give me a second. Let me refresh my cameras for everybody
I
here.
believe I could actually cast that spell if I wanted to.
I think I can too. I just wasn't sure.
Okay. I think
It's a D&D.
Sarah, can you try
17.
moving? Okay, there we go. Oh, I get Sarah and Sarah. Okay. Yep. Just wanted to make sure I had everyone back moving. For some reason, Discord froze all of your cameras on me, so I had to, I had to reconnect them in Streamlabs. So as you have all started to come back into consciousness, and again, as each one of you was told, as they didn't put paint literally on your eyes to close your eyes, the first thing you notice is that you can you're hearing things. Snow Moon, you can hear a strange sort of gravelly voice. It sounds like it's talking to like a baby almost.
Oh, you hear that? I'm gonna be platinum, she said. That's gonna be something to see. Put it right up front. Then you'll know. And you'll finally stop forgetting about the Urshani.
Sarah, you're hearing much the same as you're starting to come back into your facilities on the other side. Again, still not seeing anything as you had had your eyes closed. And both of you are feeling, I guess I'll call it a little stiff. That sort of strange, like, you know, like you put, you know, body
POV.
paint or, paraffin wax for your manicures, and it's now nice and hard, and you know if you take your hands and you just sort of go, "Ugh," it'll all break off and fall apart.
You are Ferrero Rocher.
Furia and Artemis, who unfortunately is not with us this evening, but the two of you in the vault, you start to come to is you're hearing these two sort of grunt as they're finishing setting Artemis down on the ground.
Now we gotta get the coin. The boss said, the fat man will do it.
And you can see he's going over and is starting to count out coin a little bit. And seems to be pulling out looks to be about 1,000 gold that he's trying to pull together, is however they agree to the amount. But eventually he's, pulling up and gets it into a little chest, and then brings it over and sets it on the cart next to you, Murdoch.
It is, yes, that is a different what your overpayment.
Thank you so much. And it's all there. Do I need to? Did he count it himself, or did one of the hobgoblins do it?
Oh no, he did it.
Okay.
Ramnolf did. So the hobgoblins were there watching, but he's the one who was actually doing it.
And the hobgoblins have gone back to their post by the gate.
They've now stepped back out of the actual vault itself, but they're still right outside the door. They're probably only about 10 or 15 feet from you.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. There's nothing else that you need from us, yes? That's the taxes all paid. There's no paperwork or anything of that nature. We're all good to go.
You're all set.
All righty. Here, hold on. I'm just going to. I want to send a message ahead to the studio to let them know that we're coming. And I'm going to cast a message at Snow Moon and be like, "Are you awake yet? Can you move?"
And I can just answer this in my head?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, I'm awake, and I believe I can move, but I don't want to just yet. to be safe.
All right. Nathaniel, the studio is ready and waiting for us. So we should probably be going to.
Wonderful.
All righty. I guess we can just get the cart turned. Let's get the cart turned around, and we can be on our way.
Oh, Randolph sort of crawls himself into the cart and slowly starts having the, sort of backing the horse and the cart out. Two of the hobgoblins are now slowly backing away from the door a little bit as they're sort of helping guide the cart out for you guys. And as you notice Murdoch as you're sitting next to him on the cart, the other two hobgoblins are waiting at the door. It looks like they're going to be closing this once the horse is back out.
How much of this can I hear where I am? Can I tell that they're leaving?
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell that they're leaving. You can hear you heard the footsteps of the, you heard footsteps of multiple individuals already leave. You heard Murdoch and Ramnolf having a conversation very close to you. Then you heard the two of them walk away, sort of the creak of the carriage, and then the horse sort of complaining a little bit as it's made to walk backwards back out. So as you can hear the horse getting a little further away, you're getting to the point where you feel a little more comfortable that it might be okay to even open your eyes and look around, as you don't hear anyone else.
I would like to stealthily, and using my skill as a huntsperson, being able to stand still, waiting for people to come by, or animals. Yeah, I didn't say that. That never happened.
Dangerous game.
To stand as still as possible and just open my eyes.
So as you open your eyes, you're literally staring into a large pile of golden goods. And just as you're staying completely still and staring, you can hear the very light clopping of horse backing away.
Hurry up, we gotta get the door locked up and then we can then it's off to food, yeah.
Out of character. Are we doing this?
We're doing this. How close, can I tell how close one of those voices are, or is it across the room?
It's again, not that Fury would notice because you haven't turned to look to see where you are. It sounds like it's within a couple of feet of you.
Okay, so I would try to sort of locate from what I heard earlier to now, and I'd like to all of a sudden move and look at them and say boo.
Okay, so as you very quickly start to do a quick turn, and noticing this, Art starts to move as well, seeing that you're making a motion. And as you both turn and sort of look, you realize you are basically flanking either side of a doorway. As you turn and look, the only thing you can see looking from your angle out the door is a horse. There is nobody else in your line of sight you can probably see. Actually, I think Lydia did this after you guys. Lydia, did you cast Disguise Self first or after?
After.
Okay.
After.
So she
did it on the way.
Yeah, so you see Murdoch and an elf.
I do remember Lydia saying she was going to do that, so I'm just assuming it's Lydia.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's Lydia.
Art sees basically a massive door on the other side of a horse and looks over at you and says, there's a door. And then starts looking around. Are we going to get closed in?
I hope not yet.
Okay. The hobgoblins are helping guide the cart and open the door, so they're all around the cart.
So two of them right now are basically ass end of the cart, just making sure the cart comes back straight. The other two, as you're backing out and you're now sitting in the seat, so that basically the horse is still blocking the door from being closed.
Okay.
You can see beside the door, basically think of it like a bank vault. There are 2 hobgoblins on this door. As soon as that horse is clear, they're going to start pushing the door closed.
Okay. How far apart are the 2 pairs of hobgoblins from each other?
Closest 2 are 10 feet. And that's basically the one closest to the furthest away from the vault itself, on the outside of the door, and the one on the left side of the cart are 10 feet apart. The other 2 are probably, again, adding the extra 5 feet, are probably like 15 to 20 feet.
So, if I'm picturing it all in my head correctly, if they were like at the corners of a cube, they would all be within a 30-foot cube? Centered from me?
Centered from you? 30.
Or centered, because or maybe a little bit behind me, because there's
Yeah, no, that's because you'd be able to get. You could get 3 out of the 4 because of the size of the cart.
Okay.
So you could get the 2 behind you, and the one, basically the one closest to you on the door, the one that's right against the vault, is just, you'd either miss the back 2 completely, and you'd only get 2 of them.
So the most is 3. Okay.
Yeah, the most you could hit is 3 if you wanted to.
Permission from the party to start this
I've already moved.
I'm
not a statue.
I was shortly about to open my eyes, but I haven't done it just yet.
I was also about to open my eyes.
So yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
I'm just gonna tap him beside me and just be like, could you just close your eyes, dear?
Just sort of. Oh shit! Tucks his head down, goes like this.
I'm going to raise my hands up into the air, and I'm going to snap, and my metallic scales shine brilliant colors, and I will cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Okay.
On the 3, it's a 30-foot cube, so I will try to get the 3.
Okay. So let's see here.
And I guess, do we, like, hear this? That, like, we know it's starting to go down now?
We're gonna see exactly what,
there's no verbal component to that spell, so when they start yelling...
they have to make,
wisdom saves.
Yeah, and that's...
Come on, shut down 3 of the 4.
And it only flashes for a second in that area.
Yeah.
What is your DC for your wisdom save?
15.
Okay. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this right so I know which one's best. We're going to do the back 2 first.
The moment you said cube, the moment you started asking dimensions, I knew.
Okay, wisdom. This is all going to come down to modifiers for one of them because that is 15 on the die.
Okay.
Wisdom is a 0, so one of the 2 on the back saves, 1 fails.
Okay.
Why am I rolling 2 dice? I only did 1. And the one guy up front, he fails as well.
Okay. So they are charmed, and while charmed, they are incapacitated and have a speed of 0. They're just...
No, they're just so...
For 1 minute, spell ends if they take any damage or someone uses an action knowingly to shake them out of its stupor. But
okay.
That probably is initiative.
So, let's see here. So, yeah, there is no sign of this. We're just going to see how are these other 2 going to react.
New characters gotta go.
Okay, so, well, that one's... Okay, So you have two extremely different reactions here. So, as this happens, the two guiding the cart back. The one on the left-hand side still seems to be working away without a problem. The one on the right is now off in La La Land. Just stops moving and just is looking up. And it's just sort of gets this glassy look on his face. All of a sudden, gets bumped by the cart and just falls over onto their back inside. And is now just looking up in the air again. And the hubbub beside is just starts cracking up laughing.
Oh my god, are they talking about?
And just laughs like hell and just, and just goes back to what he was doing. Completely ignoring the idiot on the ground.
Oh my god!
As they continue moving back, I want everyone to go ahead and roll initiative. As what happens next, it's all going to sort of play into it. But the one at the door, unfortunately, did not roll nearly as low as that one did. And then going to grab my jobber.
That's 2 out of the 4 guards taken care of for about a minute, so it's up to y'all.
15?
Okay, so hold on now. Let me just see here. I gotta grab my bad guys. Okay, so okay, so do we have anyone over a 20?
No.
Okay, actually, let me roll for art before I forget to.
47!
Where is... Why doesn't art ever roll these when art's here? Okay, let's see. That is... Okay. So, 15 to 20.
18.
16.
Ooh, good job.
15.
Okay, so we have Murdoch at 18. Sure, you said 17?
16.
That's 16. Okay, so we have 16 for Fury, and then 15 for Sarah?
Yep.
Okay, then we had 16 for Art. Okay, Lydia, what'd you have?
14.
And Snowmoon?
11.
Okay. And then we have... Okay, just give me a second, make sure I've got these all in the right spots here. Okay.
It's been so long since I've gotten to Bard. They're my mains, and my power is realized.
Okay. There we go. That's... we have... Okay, and with that, we need to update our music.
No more chill
And
vibes.
you guys are in this. So, Murdoch, we start with you and these hobgoblins.
Okay.
And basically, this is that group that is right around you, this group of 4 of them. You notice and you will be taking your initiative first, but you do notice that the one further back that was just out of range to you is looking with concern at its very sort of spaced out looking buddy.
Okay. So there's the one that was laughing that's still like 10 feet from me.
Yep.
And then how far away is the one that looks concerned from me?
From you, that's probably about maybe 10, tops 15 feet.
Okay, the math works out. I'm going to use a bonus action and lock eyes with the one that looks very concerned. And I'm going to say, this is probably going to get a lot more strange for you in just a moment. I'm going to use my unsettling words feature, which allows me to expend some of my bardic inspiration, which is a D8, which I will roll now.
I just wanted to thank the Miss Awaken for raiding us. Sorry about that.
Hey, welcome, Mr. Awaken.
I rolled a 4, so now he is going to subtract 4 from the next saving throw that he makes. And then I'm going to cast with my action Charm Person at 2nd level and target the 2 that I was not able to charm before because it's not concentration.
Alrighty then. That's 2 more saving throws, so we'll do, do the one up front first.
Yeah, so he'll get a -4 to this.
Okay, so he is now charmed.
Wonderful.
And the guy in the back, he is actually still okay. But at the moment, he is still...
He is laughing it up.
Yeah, he found it hysterical, and nothing outright has happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
He heard you he heard some conversation up front, but he's still laughing at his buddy who just got run over by a cart.
And then to the one that's now under Charm Person, because he's not incapacitated, I'll be like, it looks like a friend fell back here. I shouldn't laugh, but it's quite funny. A little bit of an oopsies at the gate. And I'll end my turn.
Okay, so that'll bring us to the 4 of them, 2 of whom are doing absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
As they are now in their first real round of being incapacitated. The one who's charmed is sort of looking over, now sort of backed away from the door a little bit, and is looking over. It starts chuckling a little bit as well, but then moves back over to the door, still finding it amusing, but is still... hasn't been given any instructions other than to close the door once you're out. So it's still sort of staying with what their process is.
Sure.
And then the other one who's in the back is still just, again, laughing and is still slowly guiding the carriage back as you guys are slowly driving away, so to speak. And that brings us over to Furia within the room, who can hear laughing. You've heard Murdoch talking to somebody, but again, you still, from where you are, it's hard to really see anything.
All right, so am I in the vault or am I outside the vault? Which side of the door am I on?
You are right inside the vault. So basically,
Okay.
if none of this had happened and they had backed out, you and Art would have been locked in.
Right. And I don't see the boss guy in here. His stuff's outside the vault.
Yeah. So as you're looking in, the only thing you can see as you're poking your head around is the couple of smaller hobgoblins, and then you see Murdoch and the elf. You sort of see a lump sort of huddled, almost like balled up next to Murdoch in the cart. Because Remnolf was told to cover his eyes, so it just sort of dove and covered.
Alright, so I definitely... Okay, I need to leave. The guy we're supposed to get is not in here. So I'm going to go up just behind the cart, check out the situation.
Oh, okay, so you're going to the back of the cart, or you're walking up to, like, in front of the horse, which is still...
I think at the moment I would just more or less casually walk up towards the cart wherever I would end up from where my position.
Okay.
Whether that's front, back, or, just...
Yeah, so as
just
you're
like I'm
walking up...
checking it out.
Yeah, the horse is literally still back... So basically, think of it like you put the horse in reverse. So the first thing you're going to hit is going to be the face of the horse. So you can get up like with your movement, you can get up to the opening of the, like basically right between the horse and the door, and be able to get a slightly better view. But you'd also be exposing yourself a little bit. As you do start to take a couple of steps though and sort of move, you can hear some of the paint just sort of like as little bits are cracking and starting to just sort of fall off.
Yeah, on my way over, I think I would stretch it out a little bit. And as I get closer, I think if I look at the situation, I would try to just hop in the cart.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make a, we'll call this a stealth check.
Okay.
You will have advantage because there's no really easy way for the big one to have clear line of sight on you, and the other four seem to be in their own little world.
Well, good thing I had advantage because that makes it a 21.
Okay. Let's take a quick peek here. Let's see. I doubt any of these guys are going to be anywhere near that. There's only one that even might be. Okay. Yeah, no one's quite that high. So yeah, you easily manage to make your jump and get into the cart.
If I could, I would ready an action, like a arrow, to see if anybody came at us and tried to hurt us. I would shoot them, but other than that, I'm just happy to sit, see what happens.
Okay. So in that case, that will bring us over to Art, who, watching you do that, is going to make the same attempt. And Art will have advantage on this as well. No, dexterity and stealth not exactly their forte. Where are their...
I might have to help them up into the cart.
I'm just looking for... Oh, there we go, skills. Okay. This may be problematic. Let me just check here. Okay. Actually, no. Art beat it by the skin of their teeth. Was able to get in and does not think that they were noticed. And that will bring us over to Sarah.
So Snowmoon and I are on like either side of the big guy, right?
So for player knowledge, yes. Sarah still has not opened her eyes. So
Okay.
Sarah's got no idea where you are, what all you've heard so far is this weird grating voice saying that he was going to be made out of platinum.
Okay, I'm gonna like do like one eye open and look around, and then other eye open.
So as you pop open your two eyes, you can see that there is right in front of you, about 10 feet in front of you, reclining in this rather large chair with a massive gray furred beast sitting beside him, head lolled on its lap, is this plate mail covered hobgoblin. He is looking down sort of at the group at the table talking to this thing. Just past him you can see Snowmoon, or a golden rendition of Snowmoon, and then off slightly to the right away from you can see a cart backing away. You don't see Murdoch, you don't see Lydia, you don't see Furia or Art anywhere either.
Am I like up against a wall? Or am I
Sort
kind of
of,
like
you're-
out in the open?
You're about, basically the desk where this guy's set up is about 10 feet away from the back wall. So you're not really like out in the middle of the room, but you're not like up against a wall directly or anything like that.
Okay. If I like slightly turn my head and look around, are there any other people?
As you're
Guards
glancing
or-
around, Well, actually, I should mention you do see a group of hobgoblins down by the cart. One laying on the ground, one laughing hysterically, one staring off in space, and one looks like he's really getting ready to close that door.
Gonna like try to not move too much and reach for my bag of tricks if I can.
Oh, okay, go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Oh my god. That wasn't what I needed. Okay. Gonna be a 11.
Okay, as you start going, as you sort of got yourself situated like this, you've got the bag of tricks is on the right hip for your lower hand. As you're sort of reaching down and pushing down to get to it, you start to hear the slightest, almost like popping of this, where the paint hardened, starting to crack a little bit.
I'm gonna stop moving as soon as I hear that.
Oh, okay. You've got your fingertips in, so you can try it if you want to. You're close enough, but realistically, you think if you pull something and go to throw it, you don't think the paint's gonna be surviving if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop and just like keep an eye on stuff.
Oh, okay. As you're watching, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay, so that die is going in baby jail. Yeah, because that's gonna be an 8.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure no one noticed that. No one heard anything. Anything else you'd be doing?
Just keeping an eye on the big thing. That's
okay.
with the guy.
Okay. And that brings us over to Lydia then. I think Lydia might be muted.
Okay, so I'm going to there's one that still isn't under the effect, right?
Yeah, there's one guy who is in the back, who seems to, mind you, he's still laughing rather hardly at his friend who fell over.
It's hard to tell whether he's charmed or not because he's just laughing.
Yeah, he's just he's laughing. He's still guiding the cart.
Okay.
But he's just sort of laughing. You noticed he hasn't just sort of gone catatonic like the others seem to have.
Okay, and I'm confused. I'm sorry. Where's the big guy?
The big guy is sitting from where you guys are, probably about 35 feet or so. Now, mind you, from you, you're on the other side of the cart. So you would have to go through the cart and then basically diagonal away into the
okay.
left.
I drew this wrong. Alright, I was drawing a map and I...
Yeah, sorry.
Additional question. Are we backing up towards the guy, or are we backing up away from him and his
Away.
desk?
No, you're backing up back into the room where he is. You're coming out of the
Oh,
vault.
okay.
Yeah, right, the vault. We're backing up towards him, and I didn't want them to lock you in the vault, so that's why I started it off.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's what I thought, but then I got confused, so I just wanted to make sure. That's all.
Okay. I guess I'll do this.
Add a chest of money worth 1,000 gold pieces to my inventory now.
I will hold person on the last hobgoblin.
Okay, so now just to make sure, this by doing this one is the one on the back of the cart. That's it's literally he's closest to the big boss.
Oh, to the big... I am drawing this so wrong.
We're backing up our vehicle into the big boss, so...
Yes, hold on, let me do this. I'm gonna swing.
I'm
you guys
so
somewhere.
sorry, guys. I'm such a visual...
I should have had a map
It's
prepared,
okay.
but life.
Because they walked our cart into the vault or by it to unload into it, and now we can't turn.
This is all I
around.
have. It's pretty bad, but...
We're
See, the horse is in the middle, going backwards from the vault where those two were.
Oh,
But I
okay.
can't figure out where the big boss was.
Okay. So
I
give me
think
just a
I think
second.
Matthew's gonna
Yeah.
try and give us a
Okay.
little
Shit.
Okay, so
Oh, we.
vault door. Oh, really?
I
Why
can
are you
see
not
the clear
drawing? Okay, let's go. See if you let me do it this way. It doesn't have to
You
be
can
right
tell
up
he's
there.
prepared because he keeps a blank paper map just in case he needs to draw
Okay.
something.
So here's the vault door. So right now you guys are the cart itself
It's like halfway through it. The horses.
is here. You've got the horse is basically, we'll call that a little, ooh, it's an ugly horsey.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have the big boss's table. Oh, not a circle. Big boss's table is sitting over here.
Okay.
So now you have a couple of your friends floating around. You have Snow Moon over here. You have Sarah over here.
You're like totally.
Lydia, you are basically like right outside the cart.
Okay.
And then for bad guys, we have. I'm just dotting these guys. You have 2 hobgoblins at the door that have been dealt with. One guy who is laying on the
Okay.
ground over here. And you have the
Okay.
guy next to the cart who's working. And then you have Big Boss and Dog Boy at the table.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, is there a way I can hide my hand motions behind the cart so I can still try to calm that dude, not calm the dude, well, no, they don't fall over. Crap.
Right, that's more what the DM was trying to warn you of. Is you can hold person him, but basically as he's walking back, all of a sudden he's going to go, hey! And it's not
We're
even going to be
starting
like he... Right, it's completely your choice.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
it's okay.
Murdoch. I'm gonna go, I'm starting this party or not!
I believe that this is the perfect time to start the party.
I'm gonna hold person on that other dude then.
Oh, okay.
Wisdom save, please.
Okay, he is finally not the wisest of hobgoblins. As
Okay.
the guy who has been guiding your carriage, all of a sudden feels his body lock up, and then just, as the carriage is still moving back very slowly, just sort of gets bumped and just sort of spins a little and collapses onto the ground as well.
Okay.
The laughter has now stopped.
It's like in Princess Bride when Vistini drinks the poison.
Yeah, falls over. Alright,
Anything else to
that's
be
my
done?
turn. Nope.
Okay. So that brings us up to the big boy
Yeah.
and his pet. They rolled the same on initiative.
Nice.
As Sarah, as you have sort of creeped your eyes open and looking around, and Snowman, as you've got an eye open now, you watch as this large gray animal's ears all of a sudden seem to have popped up and are rotated and are going away from you, Snow Moon, and seem to be leaning towards Sarah. As this creature starts to, get a little restless, and it seems like the bigger guy was sort of concerned for a moment, but is now hearing the laughter stop and watching somebody fall over. He is now looking at the cart. And as the two of them get up and start to go separate directions, the warg is actually going to walk over towards Sarah and see what it can find out here. As it's comes right up and starts gets right up in your face and takes a good clean look at you. And using its action to take a poke around a bit. And then all of a sudden you hear as it looks at you, watch as the eyes widen and the mouth draws back in a snarl. And it leans forward, and all of a sudden it looks back over and just starts mouthing something. And I goes, any of you speak Goblin?
No.
And then goes back to you, and it looks like it's getting ready to go after you. But
Ooh.
that's all it can do on its turn because it used an action to try to figure out what was going on.
Uh-huh.
And that is going to bring us over to the big man, who is walking over to check the person who just fell onto the ground. And let's see here. And you said this was hold persona?
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a look here. Okay. Oh, this is going to be entertaining. So as he's walking over and seeing this and didn't see you do anything and isn't really sure, he's just going to reach down and just haul off and give a kick at this guy to try to get him to, get off his ass. He is prone, so he has advantage on his kick. And it hits.
Ooh.
Is that the hold person?
Huh?
The hold person?
This is the one. Yeah, this is the one that he just literally he was laughing, so the guy was ignoring him. Then all of a sudden, the laughter stopped, and he looked and saw him fall over.
He's gonna crit kick his dude.
He is the big bad.
Kill him.
Oh man.
An unarmed strike is a D4 plus the strength modifier. He literally walks over, kicks this guy in the back of the head, and Murdoch and Lydia, as you're really the only two... Actually, no, Artemis and Fury would hear this in the car too. All you hear is a thud and then a crunch. As he walks up and kicks and just caves this guy's head in.
That wasn't us. That one wasn't us. Lord's Alliance, that one wasn't us.
And then just sort of looks down and goes, ah, shit. And that brings us up to Snow Moon.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I have like just my eyes open at this point.
You make me laugh.
I hear this wolf basically approaching Sarah. I see it, and I...
Yep, you can see it, and then you saw it turn and start saying something at about the same time this big one was walking over and having his moment. So now, again, as you're listening and sort of got your eyes peeled open, you don't see anything, but the wolf is still looking over towards the boss and then snaps back towards Sarah.
And do I see the boss? He's still dealing with something over there. He hasn't turned back this way yet.
Well, he hasn't really turned all the way back to face you, as you're more to his side, but he has turned to look towards the warg. And it seems that whatever this thing is barking out or grumbling, he seems to be understanding it, would be your impression.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if our cover is really blown yet. So I'm going to prepare an action to attack this creature if it looks like it's going to attack Sarah.
So right now, you're a good probably 30 feet away from that. So how would you be attacking?
Okay.
Yeah, it's literally, you guys were
You
both
were on either
10
side
feet
of-
away.
Yeah, I
of the
didn't
table.
know how
Yeah.
big that table was.
Yeah, it's not a small... It's not a nightstand.
Oof, I guess...
Actually, I should say, let me see if I have a...
We've gotten away with we got one of them killed before they really realized that something is wrong.
Yeah, we didn't even kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna use
I
it.
mean,
Granted, there
goblins.
is no orc riding this thing, but that is what you're dealing with on that end.
Subtract orc.
But yes,
Got it.
and if you want, I can put an orc on it. I mean, that'll work.
Oh, it's okay. I'm fine with no orc.
Here, you guys a little
And-
more.
So I guess would I understand that all the rods would they be dressed in the same like garb as Romnolf?
Are they?
You
Are they? Yeah. If I would know that.
it's not something that you guys discussed with Ramnolf, so you're really not sure. Right now, everything you're seeing, everyone in this room wearing, who didn't come into the room with you, is that same red, like dirty reddish brown armor that you saw on the same guys out front.
Okay, so I don't think that there are any rods in here.
That's up to you.
I don't know, do you?
Hmm.
I mean,
I-
I'll say you're probably pretty sure that the warg's not a rod, but
Yeah.
you know, you may think it is.
But it's going to eat Grammys.
I am. You know what? I'm just gonna bust out of my paint here, and I'm going to attack this creature because it looks like it's going to attack Sarah. So
Okay, so all of a sudden, as some of you have heard this, all of a sudden you hear Snow Moon take off running as you hear the familiar sounds of the sword and his armor as he takes off with a sprint towards the back of this creature. And Sarah, you can see him coming. You know, I'll phrase it a mile away, so to speak. But Snow, as you get right up behind this thing, it is right across you and Sarah, right across from it, so you will have advantage on your attack.
okay, yeah. So he'll let out a great yell and pull out his blade.
Okay.
That's a 15 to hit.
Okay, let's see here. 15 will hit.
Okay. That is 12 slashing damage.
Ooh, very nice. Okay.
And
As you carve into it, it snaps its head back around, is now looking towards you.
Okay, and I do get 2 swings, so I will swing one more time with my greatsword. That is a 14 to hit this time.
14 will hit as well.
All right. And that is 7 slashing damage.
This thing is definitely looking very rough right now, but it is
Alright.
still on its feet.
Yeah, I'll stand there with my blade poised and ready, and that'll
Okay.
be my turn.
Okay, at the end of your turn, let's see here. Check over here. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there we go. As you are sitting there, all of a sudden, it's 20 feet away. Dang it. Okay. And I don't think that's going to hit. The Snow Moon, does a 16 hit you?
No, that does not.
Okay, as all of a sudden coming from off somewhere to the side from you, you hear a little, and as you sort of glance over and towards a slightly darker corner, you don't see anything at first, and look down at the ground, and there is a dart sticking into the ground.
Ugh.
And then there's one other. Okay, I don't think that's good. Lydia, does 15 hit you? Again, and you have much the same experiences coming from off as you look and turn to where you hear that same little, almost a thwip of a sound. And you turn to look, you see, looks to be a very darkly clad hobgoblin. Is the ones you've been dealing with sort of have this sort of messy dark hair pulled back? This one has two horns coming back off the back of its head. As you're sitting there, it's holding it's literally got darts held within its fingers. Now, clutched 2 or 3 deep, like this. It seems to just be hauling off and chucking them. And then as you're sitting there and it watches you, it backs up into this. And again, it's not really dark. It's just sort of a very dimly lit area. And you watch as he vanishes. And that brings us to Ramnulf, who is going to sort of sit upright. See that the majority of you are in the cart. Really hasn't heard anything other than basically the crushing of some poor hobgoblin's skull a moment ago. They're just going to grab their hands and go, okay, then are we getting out of here then? And keep trying to pull the thing back.
Can I speak? Can I answer? Yeah. You can do so, but I'm going to be getting off.
Okay.
But it's not my turn in the initiative, so I can't move.
Actually, it is, because he is dead last on the initiative.
So it is my. So he's gonna.
Yeah. So he's basically he's backing. He's still backing up and away, but at the moment he doesn't really. As he's looking out, he sees a couple of hobgoblins that are no threat. He's not seeing anything that's really jumping out at him as of yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna climb out the side to go over to my charmed buddy that was by the door. So I probably have to crawl over this man's lap because he was probably controlling the door. So I will hop out and go over to my wonderful friend who's charmed, and in response to the boss kicking a hobgoblin's head in, I'm going to go up to him and going to go, my friend, your boss has gone absolutely insane. You need to get out of here immediately. Don't speak to... Leave your blade with me and just go act like you were on break. Just get out of here while you can.
Okay.
He's gone insane.
Anything else you'd be doing?
And then, can I still see the boss?
Oh yeah, he's at this point, you've come out, you've got sort of button hooked around the door, you're talking to this guy. You can see the boss is probably about maybe 30, 35 feet from you.
Okay. If I still have an action, I'll look over my shoulder, like when I go to refer to him, and I'll go and look at him, and he hears in his head a whisper, because all I do is talk. I don't shut up. He hears a dissonant whisper that says, and you're going to get far away from me. And he's going to make a wisdom save.
Okay. There you go. One guy who thinks you're his friend. Oh, actually, I think he may make that one.
He may make it.
Wisdom. Yeah, that's a 17.
All right. He'll still take half.
Okay.
Which will be 8, because I rolled 5, 5, and 6.
Alrighty then. Where did I lost my pencil? Okay. Okay. So that brings us to, well, the 3 hobgoblins. As one of them is charmed by you, the other 2 are still incapacitated.
Yeah,
the one who's...
I'm keeping track of how long that is. I think this is the second one.
Yep, yeah, this is only their second round. So, the one who you just spoke with takes their sword basically shoves it into your chest. Like,
Yes, go,
hammer
go.
and takes off running. Just literally runs, and basically sort of a wide berth around the boss. And then is going to use their action to dash.
Good on you. Thank you for the sword.
And then that will end their go. And that brings us to Furia, who's now in a cart with
Principal.
Ramnolf and...
Sorry, we're being raided again by
Hey,
20 sides.
welcome. Welcome, 20 sides. We love you.
Hey. All right, so I can see the boss boss hobgoblin from where I'm at. Yes.
You'd have to stick your head out of the cart, but yes.
Okay, yeah, I would do that. I've been taking stock of what's going on. There's a lot of goblins and hobgoblins around. This is very curious. So I'm going to sort of stick up, not make a huge target of myself, but enough so I could see him. And I want to cast heat metal on his armor.
Ooh.
And as I do this, or right after I do this, I'll shout over at him. So those tributes weren't enough for you, hey? And just calling him out on it.
Okay. Huh.
So it is
Hot.
2d8 fire damage, and I can use a bonus action to cause the damage again.
Yeah.
If the creature holding or wearing takes damage, they must succeed on a Constitution saving throw to drop it. But if they can't, they have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
And it's not like he can drop his armor.
So
Okay.
he only takes 5 points of fire damage, but it is now glowing very hot.
Okay. He is definitely not liking that. Okay, and that's going to bring us over to Art. Well, seeing you do that is going to stick their head out and cast one of their prepared spells. Let's see what Art had prepared last time, because I can't see what else they got. Okay. Actually, you know what? Why not? Art seemed to enjoy you heating this individual up and is going to stick themselves around and just sort of fanning a hand out, and just as you watch as they reach around to look and just spread their hand, and as they spread their fingers wide, a massive cone of flame erupts from their hand as they are going to cast Burning Hands. And unfortunately, I think they're going to make the saving throw. So it's going to be half damage, but let's see. Oh yeah, definitely they've got a positive. Yeah, so that is 3d6 for our little wizard friend Artemis. And that is 11 points, so they take 5 points of fire damage as well. Okay. And that will end Art's go. And that will bring us over to Sarah, who is currently next to a massive warg.
Is it like it's injured? You said, right?
Oh yeah, no, it is definitely dripping blood. It's looking real rough.
Okay, since it's like distracted by Snow Moon stabbing it a bunch of times, I'm guessing. I'm gonna like grab my bag of tricks and like quickly open it and just like fan it out so all three go out. And just say, attack any hobgoblin!
Okay. So let's see here. Okay. Okay, so do me a favor. Go ahead and roll 3d8 for me.
I gotta get them out of my hands. There we go. 2, 8, 1.
Okay. So as you fan them out, and do me a favor, roll another 3d8 for me. We're gonna see where these things end up in response to you.
Okay. 3, 4, 2.
Alrighty then. So as you're looking out here, and as you start fanning these out, as you sort of fan them out, the first thing that pops up right to your left, you hear, is this, as you basically just empty the bag. And right to your left, an owl appears, landing on the ground in front of you. And sort of as it starts to grow, it just sort of gets shoved off to the side next to the warg. A massive brown bear. Rolling to the ground about 10 feet away from the warlord appears a rat. And all three of them start to move. So the bear is going to the closest hobgoblin, which is actually the one that Murdoch told to run away. So it ends up running after, as he is the closest hobgoblin. The owl follows suit as the two of them converge on this one hobgoblin.
He may no longer.
The rat is closest to the warlord, so the rat's running up to the warlord. So as the bear and the owl come up to it, as you told them to attack. Okay.
All hobgoblin.
Yep. Okay, so the bear has multi-attack. It bites and claws. Bite misses, claw's gonna hit. I don't even know whether or not the owl's gonna get a chance to. Yeah. Runs up, and as it tries to bite, and the hobgoblin sees it, panics and moves. And then the claws just come through and just literally rip its stomach. And it's just on the ground.
Murdoch's like, oh! So close.
The owl, losing its target, is then going to turn around because it actually has a pretty decent fly speed and is going to head back towards the boss. And can just barely get there. Is going to take a attack at that. And rolls a nat 1 and completely misses. The rat. Rolls a 12, and that is going to miss as well. Okay. That is going to, and there go your action. You've got a movement and a bonus action.
I would like to move and grab one of my daggers. And if I'm able to, I would like to stab the warg in the ear. Like directly
that would
in.
That would be another action, so you wouldn't be able to do that to your next turn.
Okay. Just get the dagger then. Get a dagger and get ready for ear stabbing.
Okay. And that will bring us over from there to... that brings us to Lydia.
I don't believe that I see the gentleman that threw a dart at me, right?
No, you saw him for a second and then he vanished.
Okay, like into the corner of the room or completely?
You saw him in the corner of the room in this very sort of dim light. And then just all of a sudden, you lost sight of him. He seems to be gone. You're not sure if he's like ducked down and hidden somewhere back there or if something else happened.
I will go towards the... I will summon my spiritual weapon.
Oh, okay.
To hover around How far away can I summon that? Sorry, I should have had this up. Spiritual weapon I can
I
summon.
think it's 30
60 feet away from
Oh,
me?
60 feet, okay.
Can I have it near the warg?
Yeah,
Is
you're
that too
probably
far?
within 60. No, I'd say that's fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna have it take a swing at the warg.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack roll.
4. Oh, that'll hit. 16 plus 7, so
Oh, yeah, that'll
23.
definitely hit. Let's go ahead and roll some damage.
1d8. 6 plus 4 for 10 force damage.
Oh, okay. And what I can't remember, what is your spiritual weapon?
I think it's just a mace, or no, it's not a mace. It's a hammer. Warhammer.
Oh, okay. So as this massive sort of spectral warhammer appears on the opposite side of your bear, Sarah, as you're sort of starting to inch around and get your dagger out, looking for that soft spot in the ear, all of a sudden this massive mace comes down, and a massive tealish blue-green, almost looks like sparks of electricity within it, slams down on the skull of this warg, and it just crushes it into the ground. The warg is no longer there. Well, it's no longer in the land of the living.
Oh,
I was guilty when I do stuff like that. Alright. I'm gonna go run to the corner. I just put my token on the map just so I can have
Okay.
reference, but it doesn't have to be anywhere. But I'm gonna go run to the corner where I saw that fellow and try to
Okay.
find him.
Yeah, as you run into the corner, you run in and the light gets dimmer and dimmer, and then all of a sudden you almost run face first into the wall.
Great.
It seems like there's just darkness in this corner. Not
Okay.
pitch black, it's just very, very low light.
Oh, I was gonna ask him. Okay. Then I won't do anything. I will stand there like an idiot and turn.
Okay. So that brings us over to the warg and the warlord. And now seeing that the warg has just been killed, seeing that spells are going on, and now seeing two small creatures coming up and trying to attack him, he's pretty sure that something ain't exactly on the up and up here. So
Also, his armor is super hot all of a sudden.
yeah, that's a good point too. So he actually has a bunch of stuff he can do. So, and unfortunately, I believe with heat metal, it is a disadvantage on attack rolls as well. No, it's on ability checks.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so he's gonna make some attacks. He does have disadvantage on them, but first attack he's doing is at the owl. He's trying to bash it with his shield. Okay, let me just take a look at the owl's AC. That's probably gonna hit. Oh yeah, it's only an 11 AC, so that definitely hits, even with disadvantage. The owl has 1 hit point, so all of a sudden, it just, as this owl comes over and misses, he just takes the shield up and one arm just wildly swings at it, and the owl just goes poof, and you watch his feathers start to fall to the ground. Looks down at the rat, takes a swipe with his longsword. Actually, that, I don't know if that one's going to hit. Let me check a rat real quick. Again, I don't assume they have a very high AC, but you never know. Yeah, they're a 10, so that'll hit. Rat gets split in two. Rat is gone. Is now looking around the room and can see Murdoch and sees Snow Moon far away. And actually the closest one to him, we'll let fate decide. Odds and evens. Okay. He is charging at Murdoch
Poop.
and is running right up beside the one that is still dazed. Takes a swipe at Murdoch. Ooh, even with disadvantage, it's a 16 on the die. That is a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
That is going to be 11 points of slashing damage.
Owie, I need to make a concentration check against my hypnotic pattern. An 11.
Okay, you
Passes.
are good.
Oh,
Okay, and
freaking old woman.
that's going to bring us over to Snow Moon. Then I apologize. I just now realized what time it was. So what we'll do is we'll end tonight's session after this round of initiative. Once we get back up to the top, because I just realized it is almost getting close to midnight.
Okay, so how far away is the big bad from me at this point?
At this point, from where you are, let's see, probably about 40 feet.
Okay.
Snow moon.
And
Come
it's
to my.
and it's pretty crowded over there, so I don't want to use my breath weapon attack.
All right, now over there, yeah, you've got the big guy is basically now, there is, as you're looking over at him, there is a hobgoblin standing next to the door that's just sort of looking up into space.
Mm-hmm.
Then right basically behind that individual, sort of between the door and the wall, is Murdoch. And then there's this big, brightly red glowing armored hobgoblin that sort of got Murdoch, I won't say pinned in, because not really trapped, but that's the impression you're getting is there's no easy way for Murdoch to get out of there without this person taking a couple of swipes.
Alright, so I will, with my blade out, I will run with all my movement 30 feet.
Okay.
And I'll just scream out to this hobgoblin, "Come and face me."
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. Or intimidation. You can choose, whichever's better.
Yeah, I'll do intimidation. A 12.
Oh, okay. It definitely sort of turns his head over to glance at you, but we'll have to find out next time they go what happens. Anything else you'd be doing?
Yeah, I'll do bonus action Fighting Spirit, and that gives me advantage on weapon attacks and 5 temporary hit points.
Okay, make sure you note that down somewhere so you remember it for next time.
Okay.
That's going to bring us to among our last to go, the people in the shadows. And I did not read this right properly the first time. So these hidden people here, actually, when they make their dart attacks, they make 4 of them.
Ooh!
Ah!
Jeez.
So the first one is going to make its attacks, 2 of them at Sarah and 2 of them at the bear. So the first 2 at Sarah. Okay, so one is... let me take a look here. I don't think their bonus was that good, but... 14, Sarah?
My armor class is 14, so.
Okay, so the 2 coming at you both hit.
Owie.
So that is going to be a total of... okay, that's... So 10 points of piercing damage as these 2 darts slam into you.
Uh-huh.
Then the next 2 at the bear from this one. There's a nat 20 and a 16, so those are both going to hit as well. So yeah, nat 20 first is 7. And then the next one is 5. That's 12 in total. Okay, so we have So the bear is looking. You can see the dart sticking out of the bear. It's not looking great, but it's not looking bad. And now you're seeing that this individual, as you're looking around for where these darts came from, is standing off about 20 feet from you, somewhat obscured in a dimmer part of the room. Then the last guy on our initiative goes, and he is down, hidden somewhere, and unfortunately, Lydia, you are the only one in range, so
Yep.
all 4 of his attacks are coming at you.
Okay.
Lydia, you're a cleric.
I got the
Okay.
highest AC here.
So,
She's
first
not the only
one-
person that can heal, too.
Okay, so the first one is 15.
Nope.
Okay.
You
I
always
just
need
lost a
2
die.
healers, though.
Okay. Then I've got a dirty 20,
Yep.
16,
Nope.
and an 18.
Yeah, that'll just hit.
Okay, so we got 2 of them. So let's see
My
here.
armor class is 12.
Ouch.
This is why I talk through my problems.
Mm,
Okay, so,
Well, now you and I can talk through the blood in our mouths.
yeah.
so that is now 10 points of piercing damage to you, Lydia.
Mhm.
And as you watch, as this, you see this person appeared in the, again, they just sort of showed up as from this dim light, throwing these darts at you. And as you watch, as the first one glances off, the second one hits you, the third one glances off, the fourth one, as it throws it, it backs into the darkness and then disappears again.
God damn it, I hate that.
And that brings us to the end of the initiative as Ramnolf is continuing to back the cart away. We'll see how this resolves next time as we start at the top of the order with Murdoch.
Oof.
As right now, the majority of the smaller folks have all really been dealt with so far. But before we disappear, I want to say thank you. We had a couple of people I know, Sarah mentioned Mists Awaken and 20 Sides stop by rating, so I want to say a big thanks to both of you. But before we disappear, I know it's much later than we normally run, we have to discuss our Nat 20 for next week. Do we have any votes from in chat? We like to do here is for players who have done something outstanding, either combat, roleplay, anything like that. We award 1 free Nat 20 for the next week's session. Anybody want to chat who has a vote, or players, anything you want to toss out for this evening?
I say
Definitely Lydia for the art impression.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
you literally just became a different person.
an artiste.
It was great. Even without the nat 20 that you used, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great
Thank
before
you.
then.
Okay, so
Oh,
Sounds like-
Sparky Mac 85 says
Oh.
Murdoch had him laughing nonstop.
Thank you.
Aw.
I'll be here every week.
yeah, we're
And-
never
Till-
letting Murdoch leave. Murdoch dies tomorrow. All of a sudden, Murdoch comes back as a revenant. You know, makes a demon deal, something like that. We'll find a way to
I
bring
would-
Murdoch back.
So against it.
How dare you? My boss would kill me. Again!
Wait.
So, with that, you know, we got someone in chat chiming in too, so we'll do 2 for next week. We'll give 1 to Murdoch and 1 for Lydia.
Aw.
Nice.
So, often we got people from chat jumping in, chiming in as well. So, we have 2 nat 20s for next week. So, don't forget, folks, if you're ever going to listen to a slightly crazed wizard who claims that he can turn you into statues to get you into an enemy base, pray to God you have a lawyer with you who comes up with the strange idea to have your cleric pretend to be an artist. Because I did not expect that to work nearly as well as it did for them, and yet they managed to
High
make
five,
it through
Sarah.
with all they really had to do was add their proficiency bonus.
Hey.
We'll see y'all next time. Until then.
Especially-
Night.
Good night.